Ladies and gentlemen, Tsukihime. Watch the opening? Oh, I guess I could rewatch the opening. I don't really feel like it, though. Start from the beginning. When I came to, I was lying on a hospital bed. Let's check the options. Display image, recollection, progress to next choice, create a save data, restore save data, return to title. Okay. Alright. Doesn't look like there's that much in the ways of options, so we will just cross that bridge when we get to it. Let me just set up my microphone here. All right. When I came to, I was lying on a hospital bed. The curtain on the nearby window sways gently. It is a beautiful day outside, and the dry wind signals the end of summer. Hello, Tono Shiki-kun. Congratulations on your recovery. The unfamiliar old man extends his hand for a handshake. His square-rimmed glasses and warm smile are very befitting. His tidy-looking white clothes suit him perfectly, too. Can you understand what I'm saying, Shiki-kun? No. Why am I in a hospital? You don't remember, do you? You were involved in a car accident while you were walking. Your chest was stabbed by a shard of glass, and it was unlikely that you would survive. Very unbefitting of what a doctor would say. Yet he says it while smiling while still smiling cheerfully. Terrible. I feel terrible. I'm tired. Can I go to sleep? Yes, you should rest. You must focus on recuperating, and not push yourself. The doctor's still smiling. To be honest, I can't stand that smile anymore. Can I ask you something, Doctor? What is it, Shiki-kun? Why are there scribbles all over my body? I'm sorry, all over your body. And there are cracks all over the walls. Why are there cracks all over the walls? The smile vanishes for just a brief moment. Then he returns to his face immediately. He turns and walks away. It seems there was some brain damage after all. Get a hold of Dr. Akiha in neurology. I also suspect he may have suffered some damage to his eyes. Spend the afternoon examining his eyes. The doctor whispers to the nurse so that I won't hear him. Weird. There's scribbles all over everyone's bodies. Sloppy, zigzagging black lines running all over the floors, walls, the ceiling. I don't understand what they mean, but looking at them makes me feel sick. I wonder what it is. The bed, too, is covered in these scribbly lines. When I touch the line with my fingertip sinks down into the crack. Oh! It seems as if I could reach farther down with something narrower. So I traced the line with a fruit knife that was lying on the bedside table. I didn't use any strength at all, yet the knife sinks into the bed, all the way up to the hilt. It was fun, so I dragged the knife along the scribbly line. Thud! With a heavy sound, the bed snaps cleanly in two. Ah! The girl in the bed next to mine screams. The nurses run over and take the knife away from me. How did you break the bed, Shiki-kun? The doctors don't ask why, but curiously persist on how I did it. I traced along that line and it broke. Just why is this hospital full of cracks? You better stop with that, Shiki-kun. There are no such cracks like that anywhere. Now tell me, just how did you break the bed? You can tell me, I promise I won't get mad. I'm telling you, all I did was just trace the line with the knife. I see. Okay. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow. The doctor leaves. In the end, not a single person believed my story. As long as I run the knife along the scribbles, I can cleanly cut anything. I don't have to put any force into it. It is as easy as cutting paper with scissors. The bed, the chair, the desk, the walls, the floor. I've never tried, but probably. No, definitely. Even people. But it seems that no one else can see these lines. The black lines only I can see. Despite being a kid, I gradually began to understand what the lines were. They're probably like stitches. Just like stitches that hold an open wound together after surgery. I think they're weak spots. After all, there's no way I could cut something... There's no way I could cut such a thing with a child's strength alone. Yeah. I didn't know until now that the world is covered in these lines. These breaking lines that bind everything together. No one else can see them. That's why they are just fine. But I can see them. I'm scared. I'm so scared, I can't even talk. It's as if I'm the only one who went crazy. Maybe. That's why. Why even after 2 weeks, no one believes my story. Even after 2 weeks, no one has come to see me. Even after 2 weeks, I continue to live alone in a world surrounded by black stitches. I need to get out. I don't want to be in this room anymore. I don't want to stay in a place covered in stitches. That's why I decided to escape and run away to somewhere where no one else would be. But the wound on my chest still hurts, and I didn't get very far. That was when I noticed. I'm standing in the grassy field just outside of town. I really didn't get far at all. My chest hurts, and I feel so sad. I collapse to my knees and cough. There's nobody here. Drowning in this ocean of green at the end of summer. I feel like I'm about to disappear. But before that... Hey, you! It's dangerous to sit down in a place like that. Oh, it's a girl, sorry. I hear a woman's voice from behind me. What do you mean, You're already a runt, so I can't see if you... I can't see you if you're sitting in the grass. I was this close to kicking you, so watch out. She points at me rather grumpily. I get a little angry. After all, I sit in the 4th row from the front, so I don't think I'm that short. Kicked? By who? Isn't it obvious, stupid? You and I are the only ones here, so who else could it be but me? She declares this confidently as she folds her arms. Well, I suppose it must be fate that we met here. So, you want to talk for a little while? My name is Aozaki Aoko. What's yours? She extends her hand to me with the kind of cheerfulness that one shows to an old friend. I see no reason to refuse, so I tell her my name is Tono Shiki, and grasp her cool hand in return. Talking to her was a lot of fun. She didn't ignore what I said, just because I was a kid. Instead, she listened. She listened to what I had to say, like a friend. We talked about many, many things. About my family. About how it was an old and respected family with a very strict, traditional set of rules. And my equally strict father. About my little sister, Akiha. Quiet Akiha who always followed me around. About our big mansion and the vast gardens, and how Akiha and I would play together with our friends. I told her many things almost feverishly. Oh, it's this time already. Sorry, Shiki. I've got some business to take care of, so let's stop here. She gets up to leave. My chest tightens and I feel sad, thinking that I would be alone again. See you tomorrow. I'll be waiting for you here, okay? You should go back to your room and listen to your doctor. Oh. She speaks with such ease, in such a natural way as she makes her way off. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we would be able to talk like we did today. I'm happy. It was the first time I truly felt something since I awoke from the accident. Since that day, going to that grassy field in the afternoons became part of my daily routine. Unfortunately, the chat window on my end is a little too wide, so I can't really see both. So I can just shorten that just a bit. And then maybe drag this a little further. There we go. Starting out basically where I thought it would. I didn't know it was gonna start with him so young. I thought we were gonna start, I guess, media res, or whatever accident caused his super moves for Melty Blood. I thought it was gonna happen to him when he was a teen. So he's had this for a long time, I guess, or he will have had this as the story goes on. All right. She would get angry when I called her Aoko. For some reason, it seemed like she hated her own name. After some thought, I decided that she seemed like a very distinguished person, so I came to call her Sensei. Sensei would seriously listen to anything I had to say, and would always dispel my anxieties with but a single word, without fail. I was depressed from the accident, but slowly, thanks to Sensei, I began to return to my former self. Even those scary black scribbles didn't seem quite so scary anymore when talking to Sensei. I didn't know who she was or where she was from. Perhaps she really was a teacher. But I don't care. It doesn't matter at all. Because It's fun being with Sensei. That alone is all that matters. And that alone is more than enough. Hey, Sensei. Look what I can do. I wanted to surprise her one day, so using the fruit knife I brought from the hospital, I cut down a tree growing in the field. Like before, I run the knife along the scribble-like line and cut it cleanly across the base. Amazing, isn't it? I can cut anything easily, as long as it's somewhere where I can see those scribbles. No one else can do this, right? Shiki. She slaps me across the face. Sensei? What you just did was extremely thoughtless. Sensei gives me a hard, piercing glare. I don't know why, but I realized I just did something I definitely shouldn't have done. With Sensei's severe expression and the pain from my cheek where she slapped me, I felt very, very sad. I'm sorry. Before I knew it, I was crying. Shiki. Then a gentle, warm feeling envelops me. There's no need to apologize. It's true that you did something I should be very angry at you for, but it's definitely not your fault. Sensei squats down and hugs me. But you know, if someone doesn't tell you otherwise now, one day you're going to make a mistake you can never take back. That's why I won't apologize. You can hate me all you want, if you feel that way. No, I don't hate you, Sensei. Really? I'm glad you feel that way. I guess it was fate that the two of us met here like this. Sensei began to ask about the scribbles I could see. As I told her about the lines, the black jagged lines that somehow only I could see, Sensei's embrace tightened. Shiki, what you are seeing is something that should never be seen by anyone or anything. Everything in existence has points where they're most easily broken. We who will break down one day are imperfect for this reason. Your eyes have the ability to see the fate of all things. To put it another way, you can see the future. See the future? That's right. You can see death. You don't need to know any more than that. If someday you happen to go down that path, the principles will become clear to you as something that is needed. Sensei, I really don't understand. That's good. It's important that you don't understand now. All I want you to know is that you must never cut these lines on a whim or as a joke. Understand? If you do so, your eyes will begin to take the lives of others too lightly. And that's the worst thing that could possibly happen. Okay. I won't do it if you say so, Sensei. Besides, it kind of hurts my chest. I'm sorry, Sensei. I'll never do it again. Good for you, Shiki. Never forget the feelings that you have experienced here today. If you stay that way, I'm sure you'll find happiness. Sensei finally lets go of me. But Sensei, I see those lines and I get worried. They'll be cut as soon as I trace them, right? Then it wouldn't be weird for my surroundings to come apart at any time. You're right. I'll be able to help you with that at least. It seems as if that's the reason why I'm here. Sensei sighs, then favors me with a warm smile. Shiki, I'll give you a very special present tomorrow. I'll give you your old life back, the one you were living before your accident. The next day. Exactly the 7th day after I met Sensei. She arrives in the grassy field carrying a large trunk in one hand. Here. If you put these on, those strange scribbles won't be visible anymore. What she gave me was a pair of glasses. Oh, you were right, Curry Week. But my eyes are fine. Just put them on. The lenses don't have any magnification or anything. Sensei forces them on me. Suddenly. Whoa! Incredible! This is amazing, Sensei! I can't see the scribbles anymore. Not at all. Of course. I had quite a time stealing Mystic Eye Killer from my older sister to make this Aozaki Aoko masterpiece. So treat them well, or they'll be hell to pay, got it? Yup. I'll take good care of them. You're incredible, Sensei. You made all those horrible lines disappear, just like that. It's like magic. Of course. I'm a sorceress after all. Giving me a proud smile, Sensei puts her trunk down on the ground. But know this, Shiki. Those lines haven't disappeared. It's just that you can't see them. Once you take the glasses off, you'll be able to see them again. Really? Yes. That's the one thing that cannot be fixed. Your only choice is to keep living your life and do your best with the eyes you have now. No. I don't want these scary eyes. If I cut those lines again, I'll end up breaking my promise to you. Oh, you mean never cutting the lines again? Silly. You can break that promise whenever you like. Really? But you said it was something I shouldn't do. Yes, it is. But that's your gift, Shiki. It's yours to use as you see fit. No one else but you has the right to judge you. But out of all the abilities one can have, yours is terribly unique. If you have such a power, that means there's a meaning behind you having it. God doesn't give us powers for no reason. You might say that you were given the mystic eyes of death perception, because one day, time will come when you need them. That's why you must not live in denial of their existence. Sensei squats down, so our eyes could be level. But you know, that's why you must never forget. You're a very kind and honest person, Shiki. As long as you remain the way you are now, your eyes will never bring forth any wrong. However, I'm not telling you to become a saint. All I'm saying is, live true to yourself, and become a man in the manner that you think is right. Since you can accept your mistakes, and are able to apologize, I know that in 10 years, you'll become a great man. That being said, Sensei stands and reaches for her trunk. Oh, but I must say, unless in exceptional circumstances, you shouldn't take the glasses off. Special powers attract other special powers. Only when you decide there's no other way should you take those glasses off. And even then, be mindful of how you use your power. Power in itself is not evil. What is evil rests solely in the hearts of the ones wielding that power. Be it for good or evil, it'll be up to you and the choices you make. She picks up her trunk. Sensei doesn't say anything more after that. But deep down, I knew we would have to part. It's impossible, Sensei. I can't do it. I won't understand just by myself. The truth is, I was so afraid before I met you. I was only able to return to being me because you were with me. I can't do it. Not even with these glasses. If you're gone, I can't do it. Don't say such things, Shiki. If you tell lies that even you yourself can't believe, you'll only make whoever hears you sad. Sensei raises her eyebrows in displeasure and pokes my forehead. You know it yourself, don't you? You're alright now. So don't say stupid things and give up on the self that you finally found. Only you can choose to be you. No one else can do it for you. Sensei turns around. Well, this is goodbye. Listen, Shiki. Life is not easy. Everyone's life is a hard, long, rocky road filled with many pitfalls. You've more power than anyone else to do something about that. So pull yourself together. Sensei's leaving. I was sad, but I'm Sensei's friend. So I have to see her off properly. Yes. Goodbye, Sensei. Well done. That's right, Shiki. Hold on to that confidence, and always live true to yourself. When you find yourself in trouble, calm down and think things through carefully. Okay? A solution will always present itself to you. It'll be alright. You'll manage, even on your own. Sensei laughs happily. The wind blows. The field of grass sways in unison. Sensei was already gone. Goodbye, Sensei. After saying that, I really felt like I would not see her again. All that remained were her many words and these mysterious glasses. It was only 7 days, but she taught me things more valuable than anything else. As I stand there by myself, I feel tears well up in my eyes. Man, I was such a fool. I could only say goodbye. I couldn't even say a single word of thanks to her. I left the hospital soon after that. Afterwards, I didn't return to the Tono household, but was taken to live with my relatives instead. But it's alright. Tono Shiki will be just fine, even by himself. I'll spend a new life with my new family. And like that, Tono Shiki's 9th summer ended. The new autumn arrived, and I think I became more of an adult. It's kind of a hard cut. I think that was like just a product of 2000s visual novels. I don't think that was supposed to be like a thing. Autumn. The last traces of summer are disappearing today. A Thursday, halfway through October. That's kind of where we are right now. This is the day when I, Tono Shiki, return home. It's been 8 years since I left. Fuck, what's 9 plus 8? He's it makes him 16? No, 17, right? 9 plus 8? Because 9 plus 9 is 18. Yeah, 17. I'm sorry. Math is not my strong suit. Shiki, hurry up. You're gonna be late for school. I hear Keiko's voice floating from the kitchen. Okay, I'm leaving, I call back. I place my hands together in the room that was mine at Arima's up till now. I'm going. Thanks for letting me live with you these last 8 years. Clap, clap. I fold my hands together in prayer. Then, grabbing my only bag, I leave the room that had become so familiar. I walk through the entrance to the Arima's house, then turn to face it. Shiki. Keiko-san, who'd come to the door to see me off, calls my name somberly. See you later. Take care, Mom. What a strange thing to say. I won't be coming back. Never again will I pass through this door as a member of the Arima family. Thanks for looking after me. Please, give my regards to Father, too. Keiko-san simply nods. 8 years. The eyes of the person who had been my mother look so sad. I don't think I've ever seen her like that before. I'm sure it'll be hard for you at the Tono's house. Please watch yourself. Your body's weak. You mustn't overdo it. I'll be okay. After 8 years, I'm just as healthy as anyone else. I'm a lot tougher than I look. I suppose you're right. But the Tonos are different from everyone else. I'm worried they'll be too much for you. I know what Keiko-san means. My home from today forth will be a mansion, an uncommon sight in this day and age. Not only is the house amazing, but the family itself is highly respected. It's said that they hold significant investments in many corporations. To top things off, it's my true home. The Arimas have only been looking after me. But it's already decided. Yeah, it's something that's decided already. All right, I'll be hanging. Excuse me. All right, I'll be heading off then. Thanks for taking care of me. I repeat those words one last time and turn my back on the household I had grown so accustomed to over these past 8 years. I leave the Arimas and start walking to school with a heavy heart. 8 years ago, I recovered from a serious injury that normally would have meant death. Then I was entrusted to the Arimas, a family branching off from the Tono family. I had lived with my real parents at the Toho mansion up until I was 9. Then I lived with the Arimas for 8 years until now, my second year of high school. So wait, so he's gotta be 9 plus 8 is 17. So he's like late into the second year, is that right? I lived a normal life. Well, no, October, right? So he's only like a month in. Then again, I don't know how Japanese school works. Maybe they start. I think they do start earlier, don't they? Don't they only get like 1 month of summer vacation or some shit? I don't know. He's about halfway through? Okay. I lived a normal life as an adopted son. From the time I met Sensei, those special circumstances Sensei told me about, as she parted, never happened, and the glasses hid the lines from me as long as I wore them. The life of Tono Shiki was a peaceful one. It meandered along gently, until a few days ago. The day when the head of the Toho family sent word to me. Return to the Tono mansion. The fairy family that, until now, had shunned me. I sigh again. To be perfectly honest, even before the accident, I'd never really gotten along with the Tono household. Maybe as a kid I never liked the formality demanded by the family. Perhaps that's why I said nothing when the old man told me I was going to live with the Arimas. I think it turned out well. I got along well with my adopted parents, Keiko and Fumino-san. It was as if they were my real parents. I lived a normal life in the loving family of the Arimas, like a real son, just like I'd always wished. I don't regret living there, except for one thing. My little sister, 1 year younger than me, remained behind with the Tonos. Akiha. I bet she hates me now. It would only be natural. She had to live in She had to live in that mansion all by herself, under the constant under the constant supervision of that hard-headed old man. I could easily imagine what Akiha thought of me, the one who escaped. I let out another sigh. I can't help it. What's going to happen will happen. Today, after school, I'll return to my true home. Lord knows what'll occur. But for now, I've got more pressing problems. My watch shows 7:45 a.m.? Homeroom starts at 8 o'clock sharp, and anyone who isn't in class by 8 is marked as late. Clutching my bag, I start sprinting towards school. I manage to make it to school in less than 10 minutes. I enter from the back gate, accomplishing a feat that would bring the track scouts running if they knew. Come to think of it, today's also the last day I'll come in through the back gate. The Arima and Tono houses are on the opposite sides of the school, with the Arimas being behind while the Toho's in front. Obviously, I'll be coming in through the front gate in the future. And I quite like the lonely atmosphere back here too. For some reason, the back gate at our school isn't really popular. Only 10 people or so, myself included, actually use it. It's quiet, and pretty devoid of people day or night. Clang! Clink, clink, clang. Like I said, pretty quiet. The sound of a hammer, mixed with distant birds singing, reaches my ears. Hammering, huh? Clang. Clink. Clong. A half-rhythmical ringing comes from the corner of the courtyard. What is that? Homeroom begins in less than 10 minutes. I don't have time to stop and find out, but I'm pretty curious. Whoa, uh-oh. Right now. There's only a few minutes to homeroom. I have to head there right away. I'm curious. I'll go take a look. Oh, they're starting the choices already. Okay. Gives me a chance to take a sip of water. Okay. Choose your fate. This ain't a kinetic novel. I knew that for the most part. I didn't think the choices would happen so quickly. It's only a few minutes to homeroom. I have to head there right away. I probably should be a responsible Japanese student. Yeah, that's probably in character. Then again, I am curious. You know what? I'm not the kind of person who rocks the boat. I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm gonna go to homeroom. That's what I'm gonna do. Sorry if that's the less interesting choice. I have no way of knowing. I have no, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Too late. I arrive in class earlier than usual. Phew. I walk to my desk next to the window. Good morning, Tono-kun. An unfamiliar voice greets me. Eh? I turn around, confused. Tono-kun, the teacher was looking for you. He said he wanted to talk to you about your house. My home? Must be about me moving. I should have finished the formalities yesterday. Perhaps there's something I forgot to do. The girl doesn't move, but stands there looking at me. Good morning, Yumizuka. Yeah. Good morning, Tono-kun. Looks like you remember my name. Sighing with relief, Yumizuka Satsuki gives me a faint smile. I can remember the names of my own classmates, you know. It's just that I haven't spoken to you much. Yeah. I was a little nervous about talking to you. Yumizuka smiles again. She seems happy about something. Yumizuka continues to stare at me, as if she wants to say something else. To be honest, I don't know her that well. Although we're in the same class, I can count the times we've spoken. But Yumizuka Satsuki is the center of attention. She's often the topic of conversation among the boys, and there aren't any bad rumors about her among the girls. In short, she's your typical class idol. Naturally, she's always surrounded by a crowd. She's the complete opposite of a loner like me. While I might be able to remember the name Yumizuka Satsuki, there's no reason for her to remember the name Tono Shiki. Seems like there's some bothersome coincidences. Excuse me. It seems like some bothersome coincidences are at work today. Tono-kun, can I ask you a question? If I can answer, you can ask as many as you want. Sorry if it's something personal, but you said you're moving? Are you going to move somewhere far away? Her voice trails off, as if it's hard for her to ask. She clasps her hands to stop fidgeting. I know it's sudden, but will you be transferring somewhere? No. I'm changing my residence, but not my school. My new house is still in the town, so it's not a big deal. Oh, that's good. Yumizuka sighs with relief. How odd. Why would something like me Why would something like me moving cause that kind of reaction? But, are you going to leave the Arimas? Yeah. I enjoyed living with them, but I can't leech off them forever. Huh? How does Yumizuka know that? No one at the school should know I was living with the Arimas except for a certain guy. What's up, Tono? A carefree, loud voice rings out from the classroom doorway. As if on cue, the guy who's been my friend since middle school appears. Can I fucking call it or what? with my typecast. All I needed was what's up. Hey, if it isn't Yumizuka. It's not often that I see you talking to Tono. Morning, Inui-kun. Yumizuka looks away with an unenthusiastic reply. I guess she isn't the type who'd respond well to a guy like him. Tono's picking up chicks? What the hell's going on? I thought you weren't interested in him. Akihiro exclaims his joke loudly. You moron, stop spreading lies. I'm a normal guy. Whoa, 2000, year 2000, calm down. Of course I'm interested in girls. The year 2000. Is that right? Good for you, man. Still, these days, girls find it more amusing if you have a weird sex drive instead. But they'll only find it amusing if it won't go any farther. His bottomless, cheerful laughter echoes throughout the morning classroom. I let out another sigh. I once again wonder. I once again wonder, like I have many times before, how I ended up knowing this person. His hair dyed orange, ears pierced. His vicious glare that shouts he'll pick a fight with anyone, anytime, and wearing his rebellious clothes. Inui Akihiro is the only free-spirited outlaw in our university-oriented high school. Do you have to be so loud this early in the morning? I'm depressed about all sorts of stuff, so stay away from me today, okay? I wave my hands to shoo him away. Depressed? What's wrong, man? Is it that time of the month? Wait, I take it back. Rather than just for today, stay away from me for the rest of my life. My depression will only get worse with you around. Ignoring Akihiro, I head back to my own desk. Dropping my bag and taking a seat, I stretch my back. Hey, you can't just ignore other people like that, Tono. You're gonna hurt people with that careless attitude of yours. Oh, that's news to me. Is there some way I can kill them instead? You could tell me how. If you could tell me how, I'll repay you by trying it out on you. That's cold, man. Aren't you just a little nastier than usual this morning? Didn't I tell you I'm depressed? Other people aside, I'm certainly not showing any kindness to you. Akihiro sighs. Why are you only mean to me, Tono? You're like a saint to everyone else. It's not fair. What? You just figured that out? The world's unfair. You really are only mean to me. Akihiro gives another exaggerated sigh. I didn't particularly try hard to be cold to Akihiro. That's just the kind of relationship we have. So, Akihiro, what's a chronically late night owl who never shows up until second period doing here in homeroom? It's very odd. I was thinking that too. I guess being at school on time isn't just for when I happen to wake up early. Well, I won't comment on your hobbies, but what I'm asking is why you woke up so early. Give me just a second. Okay. Why I woke up early? I guess it's because I can't stay out late since all that fuss started. So I actually go to sleep at night now. You've heard the stories about that serial killer, haven't you? I see. Come to think of it, I did hear something like that. I feel a tinge of regret at needing Akihiro to remind me. For the past 2 or 3 days, I'd been debating whether or not to return to the Tono household, so I completely lost touch with the news. What was that again? They've given it some really nasty name, like freakish serial killings or something. There's more to it. So far, all the victims have been young girls. The eighth victim was only 2 days ago. And to top it all off, they were all Wait, what happened in the beginning? Akihiro tilts his head in contemplation. Excuse me. I'm an idiot for asking him. Yeah, I remember now. All the victims were cut to pieces and arranged in a pattern or something. No, Inui-kun. Everyone who was killed lost a lot of blood. Oh yeah, that was it. They said it was some kind of modern-day vampire or something. Huh. Oh, I'm sorry, that was, Shiki, okay. You sure know a lot about this, Yumizuka-kun. San. That's gonna happen a lot. Not really. It's happening in this town, so it's in the news. You'd remember it even if you didn't want to. I see. I thought it was happening in a neighboring town, but I guess it moved down here. Well, anyway, that's what happened. Even I wouldn't be going on the streets at night with a killer walking around. That's why I've been waking up at 7 lately. What? That's it? Having a good reason doesn't make a good story. Where's the fun in that? Man, you're cold. What, did you collapse from anemia already this morning? I'm alright, thanks for asking. If I was anemic 24 hours a day, I'd be dead by now. Yeah, you're right. If you say you're okay, then I guess you're okay. And the bell rings, interrupting our conversation. Hey, class is about to begin. Hurry up and get back to your seat. That might have been the girl. Oh well. With a yeah, Akihiro goes back to his seat. See you later, Tono-kun. Yeah. Sorry for keeping you, Yumizuka-kun. San. Fuck! Oh boy. Her light footsteps tap across the floor as she returns to her desk. Second period is over. Our homeroom teacher, who's also our math teacher, calls out to me as he leaves. Every time you fucking it, yeah, I was thinking it too. Tono, your documents are missing some details. Please go visit the office. It shouldn't take long, so I'll head to the office before the third period starts. The office is on the first floor. The second-year classroom is on the third floor, but I could make it back before the third period starts if I run. I run. And run. And run! The impact floors me with a thud. My head hits something, and the world swims before my eyes. Ow, 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 ow! I hear a voice nearby. It's a woman's voice I've never heard before. It looks like I ran into someone. It'd be funny if it was Neko Arc. Just randomly, for no reason. I'm sorry. Are you alright? I still can't see my surroundings too well, but I apologize to the person I hit. Yes, I'm alright. How about you? Are you okay? There's no trace of accusation in that gentle voice. I don't know who she is, but she seems like she's worried about me. Yeah, I'm also okay. I shake my head and stand up. Finally, I can see clearly. Oh, I guess that's supposed to be Ciel. Are you really alright? Your forehead's swelling up. I feel a prickle of pain when I try to touch it with my hand. Just like she said, I'm developing a magnificent lump. I'm so sorry. I was not paying attention where I was going. Your forehead must really hurt, right? The female student gazes apologetically at my face. From the formal way she spoke, I assumed she was a first year, but from the color of her ribbon, I could see she's a third year. In other words, my senpai. No, it's fine, really. I'm the one at fault. I'm sorry for bumping into you, senpai. I lowered my head in a bow. Come to think of it, you're right. You shouldn't be running down the hallways, you know. There are people like me spaced out while looking down in the courtyard. Yes, I'll be more careful. Are you alright, senpai? Yes, I only fell. It's because you ran into the wall while trying to avoid hitting me, Tono-kun. Really? No wonder I'm seeing stars. I'm lucky to get off with just a bump after running into a wall that speed. Sorry about that, but spacing out in the hallway is also dangerous, senpai. Yes, I'll be more careful. Senpai smiles and nods. It's an honest smile. Excuse me. I best get going. Beating the dust off my pants, I began walking towards the office. But the older student continues to watch me through her glasses. Wait, just who is she? I was distracted because I ran into her, but come to think of it, she's beautiful. If she's this beautiful, the male students would be talking about a third-year beauty wearing glasses. I'm going now. You should go back to your classroom too, senpai. If you're in any pain, please come to my classroom. I'm Tono from 2nd year, 3rd class. I'll take responsibility. She nods. Even though she's older than me, it's like dealing with someone younger. All right. If anything happens, I'll come to your classroom at lunchtime. Remember, Shiki-kun, you mustn't run in the hallways. Okay, but you shouldn't space out in the hallways either, senpai. With that, I wave my hand and leave. Wait. Shiki-kun? I haven't told her my first name. Come to think of it, did she use my name earlier too? Huh? Have I met you before, senpai? Senpai cries out in surprise and mischievously puts on a depressed face. You're terrible, Tono-kun. You've forgotten about me? Forgotten? No, I didn't think so. If I ever got myself involved with a beautiful woman like her, there'd be no way I'd forget. She looks up at me reproachfully. Those eyes. I'm sure I remember from somewhere, don't I? Come to think of it, we exchanged greetings once or twice before, didn't we? Ciel senpai, right? I say her name apprehensively. Yes, and I'm glad you remember. You seem the type to space out and forget, Tono-kun. I don't think I space out, but there's nothing I can do but the fact that I forgot. Well then, goodbye. Let's meet again at lunchtime. Excuse me. Ciel senpai bows again. I watch her walk down the hallway. It's lunchtime. Now then, where should I eat lunch? Go out of the hallway and think about it, go to the cafeteria, eat lunch in class. Okay. Go to the hallway and think about it? I mean, you're in school. There's not many places to eat lunch. I don't know. As an American, you really shouldn't eat. That's right. So if I want to meet Ciel again, I should go to class. If I want to talk to the other students, I should go to the cafeteria. If I want to think about it and probably like die or something because this is type moon, go out in the hallway and think about it. Probably just get my head eaten by Neko Arc or some dumb bullshit. I'm gonna go to class. It's lunchtime, and the classroom starts to liven up. Some guys are dashing off towards the cafeteria. A group of girls are rearranging the desks to form a table, and some students are calmly leaving the classroom, boxed lunches in hand. I watch them while I set down the milk and bread I bought. Sheesh, not much of an appetite as usual, huh, Tono? This guy in front of me being here is already a part of my daily routine, and I'm not about to start complaining now. But man, what's up with us? Just the two of us eating lunch together. What kind of meal goes unaccompanied by a beautiful blossom? If you don't have any blossoms, why don't you join that group over there? I'm not going to stop you. Idiot! When I say blossom, I mean a single, beautiful blossom. Those girls making a group aren't good. They're poisonous, rather than being beautiful. Akihiro's comment would have probably earned him some rocks thrown in his direction if the group of girls had heard him. Luckily, the girls in our class didn't hear his poisonous words. That's pretty harsh, Akihiro. I know you were a bad guy before, but haven't you been getting worse lately? You're surpassing merely bad and getting into deviant. I can't help it, can I? When there's a truly beautiful blossom at our school, my discerning eye grows more critical. So who's this beautiful blossom? That's a secret. I don't want more competition now, do I? Akihiro laughs, with an ambitious smile spilling over his face. As it is something I don't have, I'm a little impressed by his ability to express himself so frankly. And then, the person I had just met comes in from the classroom door. With a boxed lunch in one hand. Okay. There's no way I could mistake her. Hello, Tono-kun. Mind if I interrupt? It's fine, of course. Smiling, Ciel-senpai brings over a chair and sits down naturally. Senpai, are you hurt? Oh no, shit. Senpai is the... Okay, fuck. Senpai, are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt at all. Even her smiling reply troubles me. You said to come here at lunchtime, so I thought it'd be rude if I didn't. It's true that I said that, but... What I intended to say is that she could come and I would take responsibility if she ended up being hurt. Senpai! Akihiro slams the table with a bang as he stands up. Ah, Inui-kun. Could it be that you and Tono-kun are acquainted? Yeah, we're more than casual acquaintances. Tono and I have been friends since we were kids. Right, Tono? You could even say that we're best friends. Akihiro makes a tight fist for emphasis. There's no room for agreement or disagreement. Oh, really? It's such a coincidence that you two are friends. It sure is. This bastard is such a calm face. I'm wondering just when did he start I'm just wondering when he started to get along with Senpai. Akihiro glares at me while laughing towards Senpai. Absent-mindedly, I wonder if that's what you'd call being well-rounded. In the end, Akihiro forcibly convinces Senpai to stay for lunch. Well, since she brought her lunch, perhaps that's what she had in mind in the first place. Oh, Inui-kun, do you live by yourself? Nah, I live with my sister. Our parents left us in charge of the house, so we naturally learned how to cook. That's all. Akihiro seems familiar with Senpai. He's able to talk to her more casually than I am. I've only met her a few times. By the way, Senpai, you said you were called here. By the way, Senpai, you said you were called here by Tono. Something happened? Yes, I ran into Tono-kun during the break. I wasn't hurt, but Tono-kun hit his head. And you came to see him because you became worried? Yes, that's about right. Senpai's voice is brisk and pleasant to listen to. Since listening is more interesting than talking, I kept silent. That's when Akihiro directs the conversation towards me. What's wrong, Toho? Running into someone. Don't tell me your anemia was acting up again. Akihiro's voice betrays his deep concern about my health. No, it's not that. I was running to the office to deal with some details for me moving. That's when I ran into Senpai. Excuse me for just a second. Really? Well, I guess your carelessness was at fault. Akihiro, different character. Akihiko folds his arms and nods in agreement to himself. Tono-kun, are you changing schools? Senpai suddenly outbursts, almost hysterically. Really? Why does she think I'm changing schools just because of that? I'm not changing schools, Senpai. I'm just changing my place of residence. So I filed the paperwork for the change of address. So that means you're gonna be living alone? No, I'm just going back to my real home. It's that fancy place on top of the hill. I still can't quite believe it yet. Oh, could that possibly be the Tono mansion? Senpai asks with some hesitation. The Western-style house on top of the hill is probably seen as something special to the residents of the town. I haven't been there for 8 years, but even in my memories, the Tono mansion was ridiculously large. Yeah, that's right. I don't think it's the right place for me either, but it's too late now that I'm done moving. You don't seem too happy about it. It's not a particularly good or bad thing. I don't really understand it myself. Well, even if it is your house, it's been 8 years, right? I can understand if you're feeling restless. It'll probably feel like someone else's house for a while. I wonder if that's so. I haven't gone back yet, so I don't know. I'm a bit relaxed, since I've always gotten a refuge at your place. Listen, you. I'm not impressed with how you come to stay at my house every time something bad happens. I like your personality trait of not standing out, but I've hated how you're always too reserved for a long time now. Akihiro strikes the table with a bang again. Well, everything Akihiro said is true. There's no way to fight back. Inui-kun, does Tono-kun really stay at your house that often? Yeah, he does. That damn Tono. Too reserved towards his parents, and he would come to my place every long vacation. He's reserved towards them because they're taking care of him. That's why he comes over to my place, where we conveniently have an empty room. Since he looks pretty decent, my sister took a liking to him, and he shamelessly comes to stay with us without paying a cent. Akihiko's fists tremble, as if to say unforgivable. Taking care of Tono-kun. Akihiko clamps a hand over his mouth. Sorry. I should have thought before I spoke. It's okay. You didn't say anything wrong. I continue to eat my bread without looking at Akihiko. Really? Yeah, you're right. If you complain about that, you'll be in for some punishment. Akihiko nods to himself in agreement. His overwhelming optimism is something that I'm truly envious of. Tono-kun, did you not get along with your previous family? No, that's not it. This guy had no problem with the Arimas. The Arimas were the family that took care of him. They're really nice people, and from what I could see, they're a happy family. Even so, he refused to be their adopted child, and he escaped to my place every vacation. Sheesh. Just what were you not satisfied with anyway? There's nothing I wasn't satisfied with. It's just that I've received so much from them already. I didn't want to be a further burden on them. I turn away, and all of a sudden, I realize Yumizuka's close by. Her eyes look like she wants me to say something, but it seems like she can't bring herself to intrude. What's wrong, Yumizuka-san? I leave Akihiro and Senpai and call out to Yumizuka. I have something to talk to you about. Is now a good time? Sure. Can we talk here? Yumizuka's eyes flicker toward Akihiko. It seems Thanks for the follow. Thank you, Dog Note. Seems Yumizuka isn't good at dealing with Akihiko. There we go. That's what I want. Where I lost my place. Okay. Is it alright if we discuss this in the hallway? I don't mind. It's okay so far. It's pretty standard fare. I'm leaving for a while, Akihiko. God damn it. Waving at Wait, have I been reading it this whole time wrong? It's Arihiko. Arihiko. Good lord. I'm so stupid. Reading is hard, but I have to get good at it. One of the things about acting, if I want to get into it, is when you do voice lines at the booth, you just read it and then you say it. You don't really get a lot of time to, like, it's not like stage stuff where you get to have, like, however long you have to memorize it. You go in there and go. So I have to get good at this specific part of acting. Okay. Alright, see ya, Tree. Thanks for stopping by. Waving to Arihiko and Senpai, I exit with Yumizuka into the hallway. So, what did you want to ask me? I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but have you been walking around at night in the business district lately? Huh? Business district? I rarely go out there even in the daytime, let alone at night. Her question is so entirely off that I become interested instead. At night, you say? Around what time? From what I've heard, past midnight. Midnight. And that rules it out completely. I occasionally go out to the business district at night to buy something, but I've never been out to the city that late before. It's definitely not me. My household is old-fashioned, so they got a curfew at 7. You can't get in after that even if you cry. Since I don't want to have to camp outside, I try to my death to get home before 7. I'm upfront in denying Yumizuka's question. She smiles happily. Yeah, I know. The Arima family is also the head of a style of tea ceremony. That's right. It must be really strict for you, Tono-kun. Not so much strict as they like to tease me. Yumizuka-san, you seem to know quite a bit. Are you a student of them? No. I don't really know that much about tea ceremony. I have a friend who goes there, and she told me it was really strict. Oh, but Yumizuka-san, how did you know I lived with the Arimas? I haven't even told anyone here at our high school. You've forgotten that we went to the same middle school together, haven't you? Yumizuka giggles as she speaks. We went to the same middle school? I can't remember, so I can't say anything, but if that's true, then it wouldn't be odd if she knew I was entrusted to the Arimas. Yumizuka-san, maybe, is it okay? Wait. It's okay as long as it's not you, Tono-kun. Sorry for interrupting your lunch. Interrupting my words. Yumizuka Satsuki goes back to the classroom after saying this. Yo! Is your conversation over? Yeah, it seems like she just got the wrong person. Hey, Arihiko. Yeah? Yumizuka went to our middle school. Wait, who's talking? Okay. Yeah, Yumizuka went to our middle school. To say more, she was our classmate during our 2nd and 3rd year, and now in the 2nd year of high school, making for 3 years in total. Huh? As if he knew my question, he answered. How did you know I was going to ask? Because of that look on your face. Damn. I thought you were just ignoring her, but you actually didn't even notice her. She's really persistent. Or maybe she's just eccentric. She's had to suffer a lot. Arihiko makes a difficult face and shrugs. Ah, I knew it. She's Tono-kun's girlfriend, right? What are you saying, senpai? There's no way that could be. I've never even had a proper conversation with her. No, there's no use hiding it. You two look like you get along very well. I'm a little jealous. What's making her so happy? Senpai looks at me with an excited expression. Senpai! Arihiko, you say something to this confused person here too. About what? I don't know what you and Yumizuka are up to. All I know is that you two are having a merry conversation this morning. Ah! A secret meeting at school in the morning? How bold of you, Tono-kun. Senpai's getting more and more worked up in an incomprehensible way. Well, whatever. After all, it doesn't matter to me if Senpai misunderstands. But you mustn't be so blunt to her, Tono-kun. Yumizuka-han looks kind of sad, doesn't she? You gotta give her more of your attention. Senpai, Lunch is going to end soon. I think that was Arihiko, actually. Yes. Okay. See you later, Tono-kun and Inui-kun. Smiling, Senpai leaves our classroom. I feel a little exhausted. Tono! Don't go after Yumizuka. Arihiko mumbles with a stern face. Don't go after? Why? Listen, about Yumizuka, despite her appearance, she's really shy and single-minded. She's not compatible at all with someone absent-minded like you. That kind of girl is dangerous to get really involved with. Arihiko goes back to his own seat. What is he talking about? It's not like I'm thinking of doing something with Yumizuka-san. I mutter to no one in particular, and sit down in my own seat. The last class of the day ends. I don't feel like going to the mansion right away, so I just blankly stare out of the window overlooking the school grounds. So it's orange tinted. Does that mean it's like the sun's going down, like it's evening? How fucking long is school in Japan? Jesus fuck. The classroom is dyed orange by the sunset. It really is sunset. How long is school? They go in at like 8, right? So like, is it like 8 to 6 or 8 to 5 or something? Jesus. It's like red watercolor paint, and it hurts my eyes. I don't like red. It feels like it soaks deep in the black of my eyes, and I want to throw up. It seems like I'm weak against things that resemble blood. No. I should say I'm weak against blood itself. 8 years ago, I had a near-death experience. I was in an accident where I was injured in the chest and teetered between life and death for days. I should have died instantly, but miraculously I survived. Maybe it's because of the great medical treatment. However, the injuries were so severe that I don't even remember the accident. 8 years ago, when I was a child, I felt a thud pass right through the middle of my chest. Then I passed out. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. All I could remember afterwards was the pain and the cold. I don't remember much of the accident, but even today, the scar on my chest remains. I guess numerous fragments of glass pierced my chest, leaving burn-like scars there and in my back. Actually, I was quite surprised at being saved. Ever since then, I frequently collapse from an anemia like dizziness and cause a lot of trouble for others. Maybe that's why my old man believed I was unfit to be the heir of the Tono household and entrusted me to their relatives. The wound in my chest, huh? The huge scar in the middle of my chest, hidden from view by my uniform. Now that I think about it, after the accident when I started to see those lines, I'm able to forget them, thanks to the glasses that Sensei gave me. But I think I would have completely gone mad if I never met her. Keiko-san, the person who'd been my mother up till now, said when I left that the Tono household wasn't normal. No problem. I'm not a normal person myself. Adjusting my crooked glasses, I picked up my bag. I can't stay in the classroom forever. Okay, so he fell asleep in the classroom. Alright, fair enough. Now then, I get a hold of myself and go back to the mansion, or I stay in school a little longer. I'm getting fucking sick of this school. So, let's go to the mansion. Let's go for a change of location. I don't have anything to do, so I hurry up and leave school. Come to think of it, I hadn't left the school by the main entrance since the entrance ceremony. I guess this'll be the way to and from school from now on, since I live in the mansion. Leaving from the main gate, I come to the intersection that leads to the residential district. This is the point at which the paths to the city and the residential district, where the mansion is, part. Oh, it's Tono-kun! Suddenly, I run into Yumizuka. Oh, hello, Yumizuka-san. It may have been because Ciel-senpai is teasing, but I feel a little embarrassed. Yumizuka-san looks at me, bewildered. Yumizuka-san, is there something on my face? I was wondering what you were doing here, Tono-kun. Isn't your house in the other direction? Well, it was until yesterday, but I'm living somewhere else starting today. From now on, I'll be living at the place at the top of the hill, at the end of the residential district. Oh, so that's what you were talking about this morning. Yumizuka clasps her fists in an open palm together in understanding. Like this. Well, all flattery aside, that gesture seems incredibly cute. It's okay. That's right. I guess there's no hiding it from you since you already know. I'm leaving my guardians, the Arimas, and going back to my real house today. Your real house? You mean the Tono-san mansion? Yeah. I don't think it really suits me either. I see. You're really a prince on the top of the hill after all. It was a secret only Inui-kun and I knew, but now I guess everyone's gonna find out. With a faint smile, Yumizuka casts her glaze into the distance. Gaze. She looks out at the horizon, as if looking at the Toho mansion off in the distance at the top of the hill. But will you be alright? Even if it is your house, you've been away for 8 years, right? Aren't you afraid or worried? Yeah. I'm actually kind of uneasy. I never liked that mansion to begin with, and that's gonna feel like someone else's house, too. Still, I can't lead a carefree life on my own and leave my sister Akiha there, all by herself. Excuse me. No matter how uneasy I am, I have to return to the mansion. In the end, it's still my home. I think it's only natural for me to go back. I see. Sorry for stopping you, Tono-kun. You must be in a hurry, right? No, not really. I was just having a stroll on the way home. Ah, I see. For some reason, Yumizuka looks downcast and falls silent. What's wrong, Yumizuka-san? Are you feeling sick? They really are, but like, just dragging their feet, but I guess they're building up to it. I break the silence, but she continues to stare downward without raising her head. I can't just leave her there, so I continue to stand there, looking at her. And then... Yeah, what is it? I'm going home along the same way as you, until we reach the hill. Really? Then let's go together from part of the way. Yumizuka's eyes widen as she stands there stiffly for a moment. Yeah, you're right. We're going back the same way, so it wouldn't be strange for us to go together for part of the way, right? She says this all with an excessively cheerful voice and stands right beside me. Just at the right time, too. Okay, I guess this is Tono. I'm not too familiar with the streets around here, so would you mind guiding me? Sure. Well then, let's go down this street. It's a back street that leads all the way to the street on the hill. I walk home while chatting with Yumizuka. Talking to Yumizuka isn't anything particularly special, but it is enjoyable in a peaceful kind of way. Despite what Arihiko had said, Yumizuka Satsuki has a gentle air about her, and I feel safe being around her. While we're talking, Yumizuka suddenly laughs as if she remembered something. What is it all of a sudden? Did I say something funny? No, that's not it. It's just that starting tomorrow, I'll be taking the same route to school as you. She laughs, looking truly happy. That honest, smiling face is enough to make me happy as I watch her. I didn't realize it up till now. But even putting her looks and mannerisms aside, Yumizuka Satsuki is kind of cute. I'm slowly beginning to understand why the boys in our class have been worked up over her for so long now. Our conversation ceases. I'm simply fascinated by Yumizuka's smile, and the two of us fall silent. Without saying anything, we walk towards the residential district in the sunset. Suddenly, hey, do you remember what happened during the winter vacation of our second year of middle school? Yumizuka murmurs. Ugh. I tilt my head to one side. The winter vacation of the second year of middle school was when I had applied to stay for extra lessons at school because I felt bad about staying with the Arimas. I remember it well enough, but I still don't understand why she asked me about it. Okay, so maybe part of the reason he was there so late is because he signs up for extra lessons, so he doesn't stay with the Arimas as much because he feels guilty, like, having them feed him and take care of him and stuff. So he wants to, like, be as independent from them as possible. Okay. Just as I thought. Someone like Tono-kun never would have remembered. Disappointed, Yumizuka's shoulders drop. There were 2 sports sheds at our middle school, remember? One was a new shed used by the big clubs, and the other one was an old one used by the smaller clubs like badminton. The old shed had a certain problem where the alignment of the door was bad, so there were often times where it wouldn't open. Old shed. That little concrete building in the back of the gymnasium? Ah, that shed. The one which they stopped using after some students got trapped inside. Yeah, that's the one. The students were second years from the badminton club. Yeah. Something like that did happen. It was early in the new year, on a cold winter's day. The first 3 days of a new year having passed, I had applied for extra lessons and requested to stay behind at school and help out because I felt bad about staying at the Arimas. But even that was only until 5 in the evening. Wow. I guess it's not that unusual. I used to take chorale until like 9 or some shit, so. It had become dark. I was forced out of the classrooms, as all the teachers were going home. The middle of winter. Even if it was only 5, the surroundings had really darkened. The weather report had predicted snow for that day, and the cold was extra harsh. And so, just when I had decided to head straight home for the day, I had heard a banging sound from the old shed and I went to check things out. Is anyone in there? I asked, and I heard voices of several female students in reply from inside the shed. they'd been trapped in there for 2 hours. While packing the club equipment, they'd closed the doors because of the cold, and it wouldn't open again. They couldn't open the door no matter what, and wanted me to call one of the teachers for help. But the teachers had all gone home. Even if I were to call them now on the phone, it'd take at least another hour. The cold on that day was truly terrible. And the kind of cold that should have prompted snow. I thought it'd be cruel to leave those girls stuck in the shed, wearing only their PE uniforms for another hour. After some hesitation, and confirming that no one else was around, I took off my glasses and cut the line on the shed door. The door opened, and about 5 female students, eyes red from crying, poured out. Come to think of it, there was something like that. But I'm surprised you know about it. The captain of the trap badminton club told me this has to do with the club's survival, so don't tell anyone else. It was almost like she was threatening me. Oh, Tono-kun! You had no interest in knowing who was trapped inside there, did you? Listen, I was one of the badminton club members. Yumizuka sounds like she's pouting. So in other words, I still remember it well. When I think about it now, it was only being trapped inside a shed, but at the time it was cold and dark. I was really worried. Everyone thought we were going to freeze to death like that. My stomach was growling from hunger, too. I was just about to collapse. That must have been rough. I can't really empathize with her, so I give a half-hearted response. Unconcerned, Yumizuka continues her recollections, bringing up old events anew. And just when everyone was trembling, you came along and asked, "Is anyone in there?" And your casual, unexcited voice. And then the captain got angry and shouted, "Can't you tell just by looking? Do you remember?" Yeah, I remember. There was a loud bang when she threw a bat at the door. I was really surprised. That's right, Yumizuka says, laughing. But when we all heard the teachers had gone home, we lost all hope. We couldn't stand being there for even a minute longer, yet we had to face the prospect of being trapped until the next day. Just when we were thinking about how miserable the world was, you knocked on the door and said, "I might be able to open the door if you can keep it a secret." Yeah. And then I heard another bang and someone said, "If it opened that easily, we wouldn't be suffering in here." She was really angry. Yeah, the captain felt responsible for getting us trapped, so she didn't have much patience to spare. But soon after that, the door opened. Everyone was happy that the Everyone was happy that the captain's knocking with the bat must have worked and ran outside. But I was watching you aimlessly stand by the door. Yumizuka looks at me warmly. But that only troubles me. To me, it meant nothing, so I can't really appreciate her gratitude. I was crying really hard at that time. My eyes just felt like they were swelling up, and they looked terrible. What do you think you said when you saw me like that? I don't know. What did I say? I really don't remember, so I ask. If it was something someone else had done. As if it was something someone else had done. Despite this, Yumizuka still looks at me happily. You put your hand on my head and said, "Hurry and go home and eat some ozonimi." Ozoni. Sorry. Ozoni. Reading is hard. I was a little embarrassed because I was trembling so much from the cold. I knit my brows. I don't know what I meant back then. I think you meant for me to warm up my body by having some ozoni. I see. It was right after New Year's, after all. That does sound like the kind of stupid thing I would say. Now that it's put to me like this, I regret not having said something better. Back then I thought there were plenty of reliable people at school. But if I ever really need to be saved, it'll be someone like Tono-kun who saves me. You're exaggerating. Look, it's like how a baby chick thinks the first human it meets is its mother. I just happened to help you. That's not true. Ever since then, I really believed that you'd come and help me no matter what the problem was. Her expression was quite resolute. You're giving me too much credit, Yumizuka-san. I'm not that reliable of a person. It's all right. It's what I believe. So let me keep believing it. She pronounces this while staring straight at me, and I'm too embarrassed to offer a rebuttal. Well, I guess you can believe what you want. Isn't that right? So, if I'm ever in a pinch, you'll come and help me, right? Yumizuka asks me, smiling. To be honest, that would be kind of troubling. Despite what she thinks, I'm not the sort of guy who can do everything. I'm not. But when she faces me with that kind of smile, I don't want to destroy that faith she has in me. Yeah. If it's within my power, I'll help you. Yep. Thank you, Tono-kun. I know it's a bit late to say this, but I was really happy because of what you said to me back then. Saying that, Yumizuka suddenly stops. Naturally, I stop too. I've always wanted to talk to you like this, Tono-kun. Somewhere in her voice was a hint of wistfulness. Perhaps it's because of the red light from the sunset, but somehow, Yumizuka looks lonely. What do you mean? You can talk to me anytime. No, I can't. Inui-kun is always around you, and besides, I can't become someone like you, Tono-kun. With that reserved answer, Yumizuka draws away from me. Well, my house is this way, so I'll see you at school tomorrow. Bye-bye. Yumizuka smiles. Smiling, Yumizuka waves her hand and begins walking down another street. I walk along a different path than the one I usually take. Passing through... what is this song? Jesus Christ. Passing through unfamiliar streets, I slowly approach... What is this song? Okay, I guess... Alright. It's a little goofy. I slowly approach the Tono mansion. The surroundings are not completely unfamiliar. After all, I had lived here until I was 9 years old, 8 years ago. This is not the first time I've taken this path to the mansion. My feelings are a little complex. The path home is nostalgic, yet fresh. Up until just now, I'd not noticed looking forward to returning to the Tono household. Now, it doesn't seem so bad. The house I lived in until I was 9 years old. Right now, my sister Akiha is in that utterly un-Japanese Western-style mansion. Tonho Makihisa, my old man who hated me, and the master of the Tono household, died a few years ago. My mother died from an illness after Akiha was born, and the Tonos had dwindled down to me and my sister. Being the eldest son You would think I would stand to become the Tohno heir. But I have no such privilege. To become the Tohno heir means being bound by strict upbringing. I've lost count of the number of times my father scolded me over my dislike of not being able to live freely. That was when I got involved in that accident, and my body became weakened. My father saw it as a good opportunity to get rid of me. His reasoning was something along the lines of, someone who could die at any moment can't become the heir, even if he is the eldest son. Sadly for my father, I betrayed his expectations by making a recovery. But my sister Akiha was already deemed to be the heir of the Tohno household. And so I heard that Akiha, who was already being raised harshly in order to become a proper daughter of the Tohno household, received an even harsher upbringing since then. That was a long time ago. I played together with Akiha in the mansion back before the accident. After that, I never saw her again. Apparently, Akiha tried to visit me a few times when I first was entrusted to the Arimas. Unfortunately, we were never able to meet because I had to go to the hospital every day. We completely lost contact. Thank you for the follow, Curry Week. I appreciate that. Now, where was I? Unfortunately, we were never able to meet because I had to go to the hospital every day. We completely lost contact after Akiha went to a boarding school. Unlike Akiha, I'm isolated from the main family. That's why I can live freely like this. My high school is just an average high school, and our chance of contact was pretty much zero. My old man died, and I received word telling me to come back. To be blunt, I had no intention whatsoever of returning to the Tohno house. But Akiha's at that house. When we were children, Akiha was an obedient child, always looking frightened, as if she were constantly enduring something. She would always follow close behind, her footsteps pattering behind me. She was frail, and her long black hair and fancy Western clothes made her resemble a French doll. There we go. I'm worried about her living alone in that big mansion, with the old man gone. But more than anything, I feel guilty after pushing all the Tohno family responsibilities on her and selfishly living a free life by myself. Perhaps my acceptance to return to the mansion is like my apology to Akiha. The Tohno mansion is unnecessarily big. Surrounded by iron railings, you could say the entire lot is abnormally expensive, being so large that a whole elementary school could fit inside. The garden, surrounded by trees, is more like a forest. The mansion is at the heart of the forest, and there are few other buildings separated from it. I didn't think anything of it when I was a child, but now that I've lived in an ordinary household for 8 years, the excessive size feels almost criminal. The gates aren't locked. I push them open and head towards the mansion doors. They tower oppressively, bearing down on any visitors. What is this, Hassan Piker's house? Haha, kidding. Besides the iron double doors is an unmatching doorbell. All right. Shaking off my nervousness, I press it. There isn't any affectionate ding-dong chime from the doorbell. The oppressive silence continues for a few seconds. Then, the sound of pattering footsteps behind the door indicates someone's presence. We've been waiting for you. The door opens with a creak. Inside lay the lobby I remembered, and a young girl in an apron. Thank goodness. You're so late I was beginning to worry you'd forgotten lost. I was thinking about going to meet you if you hadn't arrived by sunset. The girl in the anachronistic? The girl in the anachronistic apron smiles warmly. Sorry, I'm stupid. On top of being bad at math, I'm also quite stupid. No, that's, I'm taken aback. I'm so taken aback by her outdated mode of dress that I can't even form a proper sentence. Perhaps attributing my hesitance to distrust, the girl tilts her head a little. You're Chiki-sama, aren't you? Yeah, but you don't have to call me Sama. You are, right? Oh, please, don't scare me like that. I was beginning to think I'd made another mistake back there. The girl's mannerisms are like those of a mother scolding her child. But in spite of that, there's a smile on her face, and it doesn't break the warm feeling about her. She wears an apron over a kimono. She comes out to greet guests, and addresses someone like me with Sama. This must mean that she's are you one of the maids here by any chance? The girl answers my question with nothing but a smile. Come, you must be tired. Please, do come in. Akiha-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room. The girl quickly crosses the lobby and heads down to the sitting room. Turning back as if she just remembered something, she makes a bow, a full smile on her face. Welcome home, Shiki-sama. Her greeting is accompanied by a flower-like smile. I can't think of any reply, so I just follow her in hesitance, because I don't think hesitatingly is a fucking word. Guided by the girl, I head to the sitting room. It's as if I'm seeing it for the first time. I don't know if I've forgotten about it in the last 8 years, or they've refurbished it since then. Either way, it feels like someone else's house now, and it's unsettling. As I'm looking around the sitting room, the maid in the apron lowers her head in a quick bow. I brought Shiki-sama with me. Well done. You may return to your kitchen, Kohaku. Thank you. It seems the maid's name is Kohaku. Kohaku-san gives a small bow as if to say farewell, and leaves the sitting room. This leaves me and 2 girls I don't recognize. It's been a long time, Nissan, says the girl with the long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thought processes stop at once. My mind goes blank, and I can't think of any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a, yeah. I don't think it can be helped. This Akiha that I had not seen in 8 years is not the Akiha that I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nissan? The black-haired girl tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning in somersaults as I try to recognize the girl before me as Akiha. But it seems like Akiha had already recognized me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Akiha throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination? Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? No, I'm alright. I was just surprised at how much you've changed, Akiha. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nissan. We are at an age of change. Or did you think that I would remain... Or did you think that we would remain as we were forever? What is this? I can feel the thorns in Akiha's words. No, you've definitely changed, Akiha. You've become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I really feel. And... indeed. But you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all. Akiha answers coldly, her eyes closed. Well, I came prepared for something like this. It is as I thought. It seems Akiha does not think well of me. If you're feeling well, let us finish our conversation. You've yet to hear the details of why you were called back here, Nissan. I've heard nothing more than a sudden come back to the mansion. I found out the old man had passed away in the papers. If the head of a major company dies, it definitely makes it in the financial papers. Word of Tono Makihisa's death reached his son, Tonoshiki, via the newspaper after the funeral. Even though his relatives hadn't told him, his disheartened son could pick up news of his father's death merely by buying 100 yen newspaper. It might be cynical of me to say so, but the world certainly has become a convenient place. I'm sorry. It was my fault that you did not get news about your father. Akiha quietly lowers her head. It's all right. Either way, it's not like he would come back from the dead if I went. It's not something you should be worried about. I am sorry. It's somewhat comforting to hear you say that. Akiha's face is serious, but this is not a topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot let go of their feelings for the deceased to achieve such detachment. For someone like me, who cut off such feelings a long time ago, there's no need. Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tohos to be entrusted to the Arimas forever. Now that father's passed away, the only Tohos by blood are you and I, Nissan. I don't know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the Arimas, but he's no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That's why I had you come back here. That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it they who came up with the idea of leaving with the Arimas in the first place? That may be so, but now I am the head of the Toho family. I declined every one of the proposals from our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nissan. But this is a place with rules. You will avoid living in the overly casual lifestyle you've been living up till now. I'm afraid that's not gonna happen, Akiha. There's no way I can go back to being some well-mannered gentleman now. Not that I want to. I will not ask more of you, but do try. Or are you trying to say you are unable to do what I already have? Akiha shoots me a cold look. It feels like she's hitting me with her grudge against me for leaving her for the last 8 years. Alright, I get it. I'll try my best. Akiha just glares at me if she doesn't quite believe me. You do not need to try as long as you get the results. Her pose is dignified, her words merciless. Let's get back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care for having too many people around, so I cleared everyone out. Hold on a second, Akiha. You cleared everyone out? You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nissan? I put off most of the servants, but there are enough for you and I, so there's no problems. Wait, no problems? You're gonna get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that. Oh, please be quiet. Rather than have the mansion overflowing with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed if it was just the two of us here? Well, it's true that I would feel relaxed, but you've only just become head of the family, Akiha. If you go around abusing your powers like some type of dictator, our relatives are not gonna keep quiet. Even if the old man didn't go against their opinions. Or even the old man didn't go against their opinions. Indeed. That's why Father entrusted you to the Arimas. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. I'm not going to put up with their whining any longer. Not gonna put up with... Look, Akiha... enough. Just listen. You don't have to worry about me. Please, just worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways. Akiha says sullenly, looking away a little. Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her, Hisui. She looks at the girl standing by her side. The girl called Hisui bows expressionlessly. This is Hisui. She will be your personal maid from now on. Is that acceptable? What? Hold on, personal maid? You mean... In other words, she's your servant. Akiha declares, as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there, as if it's natural to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself. Would that include the cooking and the laundry? Akiha's pretty sharp at pointing these things out. At any rate, now that you've returned to this house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you lived at the Arima house, but you're living at the Tono house. At the Tono house now. Please accept everything given to you. I can't say anything. And I can't say anything, and my eyes drift towards Hisui. As expected, she simply looks back at me, expressionlessly like a doll. Well then, Hisui, please show Nissan to his room. Yes, my lady. Hisui approaches me with a shadow like a lack of presence. I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama. Hisui heads toward the lobby. Sighing, I head off towards the lobby as well. We enter the lobby. This mansion is split into east and west wings, with the lobby in the middle. The lobby is like a body of a bird whose wings are in the halls extending diagonally to the east and west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both the east and west wings have the same floor plan. Your room is this way, Shiki-sama. Hisui climbs up a flight of stairs. Seems like my room is on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servants' room should be on the first floor of the west wing, so that's probably where Hisui and Kohaku's rooms are. Outside, the sun has already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks down the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. Kinda feels like a wonderland. Kinda feels like a wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out. Did you say something, Shiki-kun? Sama. Fuck! Hisui stops and looks back at me. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it. After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again. I guess this is what they call being at a loss for words. The room Hisui led to me is not one made for a mere high school student to live in. Is this my room? Yes. If you are displeased with it, I can arrange a different one for you. No, there's no way I could be displeased with it. It's just a little... No, it's really way too fancy for me. Shiki-sama. It's fine. I'll gladly use this room. Yes. This room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you'll find anything unsatisfactory with it. There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that. It's as if she was implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by any chance my old room? That is what I've been told. Am I mistaken? Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotion after all. Well, it might be, now that you mention it. I do remember it faintly, so It must be so. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all. But I guess that's what it was like after you leave a place for 8 years. I can't get settled here, though. I was living in a 6.5 mat-sized room until this morning. It's like staying at some high-class hotel. I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you are the eldest son of the Tono house, Shiki-sama. You're right. I've got to do my best. I gotta do my best so I at least look like it on the outside. Okay, gotcha. It's kind of a weirdly written. With a thump, I dropped my bag on the table and stretched my back. I've been feeling a little stressed out with everything that's happened so far, but I guess I got no choice but to adjust from today onwards. Shiki-sama, all of your luggage has been brought here. Is there anything more you require? No, not really. Why do you ask? There was very little delivered. If there's anything you need, I can have it prepared. So please, do not hesitate to ask. I see. No, I don't need anything more for now. I didn't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag, and that white ribbon with an unidentified owner. That's all. Anyways, you shouldn't have to worry about the luggage. This fancy room is more than enough for me. I understand. Now then, I shall come to call you in an hour's time. An hour? For dinner, you mean? Yes. Please relax until then. As expected, Hisui says everything with an expressionless face. But even if she tells me to relax, just how am I supposed to do that here? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Usually, I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts as to whether or not there's any such thing in this mansion. Hisui, I know it's kind of trivial to ask, but is there a television in the mansion? A television? Hisui's eyes narrow slightly. I know I'm the one who asked, but is it really a stupid question? Or it is really a stupid question. Is it? I don't know. I feel there's something wrong with asking about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like this. Hisui makes a rare troubled face and stares off into space. There is no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but when they were departed, they packed it up with their luggage and took it back with them. So I do not believe there are any remaining. Hold on. Visitors? Like who? For how long? Relatives. The eldest son of Kugamine-sama from a branch of the family, Tozaki-sama's third daughter and her fiancé, and Kishima-sama's eldest son came to stay for close to 3 years. 3 years, huh? Hisui, that's what you'd call freeloaders, not visitors. Hisui does not reply. No matter what kind of people these freeloaders were, it seems that servants can't say anything bad about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like those relatives have brought and taken back their own luggage with them. My old man hated the products of the modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. There was no way he'd ever watch a TV. Akiha, who'd been educated by him for the last 8 years, would probably be the same. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Hisui's silent. Like a perfect example for servants. Hisui says nothing unless she's being asked a direct question. This is, of course, kind of depressing for me. I want to make that expressionless face break into a smile somehow, but that seems impossible with just any half-hearted effort. Oh, there was a library on the first floor of the West Wing, wasn't there? Maybe I'll go find something to read if I have some free time. Hisui does not reply. She just stands in the doorway. I can't even tell where she's looking. Hisui? Hisui doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me. I believe there's one in Nissan's room. Or Nasan's room, I guess. Uh-huh. I have no idea what she's talking about. There's one of what? A television. I remember seeing one in Nasan's room. Hisui says, as if remembering something from many years ago. Oh, hold on. Nasan? Don't tell me you're talking about Kohaku-san's. Yes. Right now, the only person working at this mansion are Nasan and I. Now that she mentions it, they do look alike. I just couldn't connect them as sisters because Kohaku is always smiling so warmly, and Hisui's always so expressionless. I see. Kohaku-san does look like the type of person who'd watch the variety shows. But I balk at going to Kohaku-san's room to tell her, let me watch her TV. Sorry, just forget I asked. After all, I'll be living here from now on, so I've got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what sort of cynical comment I'd be in for from Akiha if I started watching TV. Seems like I'll be leading a scholarly student life fit for a member of the Tono family from now on. Alright. I'll be in my room until dinner. So just come and call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Hisui? Hisui nods in assent and turns around. Silently opening the door, she leaves the room. Dinner takes place with Akiha. Okay, gotcha. Dinner takes place with Akiha and I being face to face. I guess it's natural here, as Hisui and Kohaku do not eat with us, standing behind us to tend to our needs. I thought it would be natural if all four of us ate together, so you could say I'm caught off guard by this inexplicably tense dinner. I should mention at this point that I've totally forgotten anything related to table manners by now. Well, I do remember little bits and pieces, so it's not like I'm a complete amateur. But humans tend to pack away unused memories into the corners of their mind. The tension was actually quite thrilling, with every one of my movements causing Akiha to raise an eyebrow. When I think about how I'll have to go through this every day, it's really depressing. Finishing our dinner, I return to my room. It's still only just past 8 at night. It's too early to sleep. What should I do? Let's see. Go to the sitting room and talk with Akiha. Stay in my own room, probably get confronted by Hisui. Or go watch TV in Kohaku-san's room. I feel like it'd be a little out of character to go watch TV in Kohaku-san's room. So I'm not going to do 3. Go watch television. Should I, really? Yeah, you know what? I think I should watch television because Shiki said he was going to be like, you know... Hold on. He said he was going to try and be more responsible and stuff, but you know what? He's got to find out what's going on with the Mets, baby! The Mets! Gotta go Mets! Come on. Let's go see some Mets! Let's go Mets! Let's see. Kohaku-san's room is here, isn't it? Knock, knock. I knock on her door. Kohaku-san, are you there? Yes, please hold on for a minute. I can hear her cheerful voice from inside the room. I wait for about 3 minutes. 3 minutes? Jesus fuck. Kohaku-san opens the door and pokes her head out. Oh, it's you, Shiki-sama. What are you doing here at this time? Well, I was wondering if you'd let me watch your TV. Huh? Kohaku-san gives me a bewildered look. Well, there's no TV in this house, is there? I've been living in a normal house up until now, so it's become a daily routine for me to watch TV after dinner. I guess I can't calm down without watching it or something like that, so... The more I say it, the more I realize I'm doing something stupid. There's something not right about barging into a lady's room and demanding to watch her TV. Look, even Kohaku is just standing there, looking Wait. No, she's not. I guess you're right. You've been living at the Arima household up until yesterday, after all. You must think this mansion to be some kind of depressing after moving here all of a sudden. Kohaku-san gives a cheerful laugh. Let's see. Have you talked to Akiha-sama and Hisui about this yet? Have you talked to Akiha-sama and Hisui-chan about this yet? You mean about coming to your room, Kohaku-san? Kohaku-san nods. No, I haven't talked to anyone about it yet. What about it? No, it's nothing. It's just that I would have to turn you away if you had already talked to them about it. Smiling while she speaks, Kohaku-san looks up and down the hallway. Luckily for us, there isn't anyone around. Please, hurry up and come in. It'll be troublesome if we're caught. Please, just sit anywhere. I'll go make some tea. Coughing to clear my throat, I take a seat. There are all sorts of little things in Kohaku-san's room. It might be thought of as a bit messy for a girl's room. There aren't really many things you could call cute from what she does, and what she does have is a lot of things that don't look very useful. Rather, it has an atmosphere of a room belonging to an orderly, scholarly person. Buried in the miscellaneous objects, I find the TV. On top of the table is the remote. Maybe Kohaku-san's been watching the TV till now. Thanks for waiting. Tea is fine for you, isn't it, Shiki-sama? Thank you. Please, don't mind me too much. Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry I can't do much to treat you. Kohaku-san says so, smiling warmly. So, the TV. What do you watch around this time, Shiki-sama? I don't have any set programs in particular, but the news is a pretty basic one. I like to hear new trends, and I like snob stories. Snob stories? Is that so? You seem like a very laid-back person, so I thought you'd be reading after dinner or something. No, I don't have such refined interests. I don't consider myself laid back either, but maybe that's the impression I gave with my glasses. You wear glasses, Shiki-sama. Akiha didn't say anything about that Akiha didn't say anything about that at all, so I was quite surprised when I saw you at the door. I see. I haven't met Akiha since I started wearing these glasses. These glasses are just for show. I guess you could say my eyes are bad. Wait, what the hold on. Sorry, he said that. These glasses are just for show. I guess you could say my eyes are bad, but I think my vision is better than most people. It's not because I study too much or went nearsighted or anything. Crap! I had an intellectual... What the fuck is he talking about? I'm confused. I had an intellectual image, but... Oh, I see what he means. I see what he means. He's saying that, like, I kind of come off as somebody who's, like, an intellectual because I wear glasses or whatever, and... Okay, gotcha. Did I disappoint you? Not at all. I enjoy watching TV more than reading, too. I'm glad that you're an energetic person, just like I thought you were. Yeah, thanks. I'm a little embarrassed. Faced directly with Kohaku-san's carefree smile, I can't help but feel a little nervous. I'm sorry. You came to watch the news, didn't you? Kohaku-san switches on the TV. It's already 9 o'clock. The news, as it usually does, reports the day's events with a little exaggeration. Oh dear. Looks like there's been another one of those serial murders. Kohaku-san says to herself while sitting next to me, sounding not the least bit concerned. The news is running a special feature on serial killings. The serial murders, which began in the neighboring town, are now beginning to be concentrated within this town. It's a pretty simple story. Late at night, he attacks young girls indiscriminately, and in the end, he drains their blood. It seems like last night's victim is the 9th one so far. I wonder what the police are doing about it. Who knows? It would seem pretty easy to catch a murderer who comes out at night, but maybe he's really careful so they can't trace him. I'm not sure who's speaking and which one's which. You could be right. The clues about the murders build up as they kill more people. So if they haven't caught him after 9 murders, he must be really carefully prepared for the killings. A careful killer, huh? But aren't these killings spontaneous crimes? It's quite strange to think of them as being carefully prepared. You're right. If there's no evidence left at all, then maybe he's not a random killer at all. I can only think he's got it all planned out from the start for execution. Ah, I see. But then what would be the point of killing those 9 girls? Are they friends of his? Acquaintances? Probably not. If there were connections like that, I think the police would have realized it by now. In the end, I suppose it's an incomprehensible case without motive or connections. Kohaku-san says all of this disturbing stuff with a smile. It seems like she's not really worried about this case. These murders are happening right here in this town, Kohaku-san. You're a young girl and all, so aren't you a little scared? I'll be fine, since the killer only appears at night. If I don't go out at night, I won't run into him. Kohaku-san is a really clear thinker. It is perhaps a bit of a raw explanation, but I suppose that's how a mere news story should be treated. Sorry for intruding on you. I'll be counting on you again the next time I feel like watching TV. Sure, I'll be waiting. Kohaku-san looks up and down the hallway. I'd like to escort you back to your room, but Hisui-chan is waiting for you there, so I'll have to say goodbye here. Okay. Good night. I had no idea bedtime in the mansion was at 10. Apparently there's some kind of unwritten rule here that one is not to be out of the room after 10. It's still so formal here, even with the old man gone. Well, I guess it's only natural. I'm also getting tired from my unfamiliarity with this mansion, so I obediently return to my room. When I return to my room, my bed has been made. Did Hisui do it while I was away? Wouldn't it have been already... whatever. I'm glad she did, but it's really more than I deserve. I scratch my cheek. Then... Are you there, Shiki-sama? I can hear Hisui's voice calling with a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm here. Come in. Excuse me. Good evening. Thanks for making my... Good evening. Thanks for making my bed, Hisui. Hisui quietly nods in acceptance. Just as I thought, I'm not used to this. Is there anything else you want to tell me? No, nothing from me, but Akiha-sama has instructed me to answer any questions you may have. I see. There are many things I want to ask, but I'll probably get to know them as I continue to live here. Yeah. What I want to know right now before I sleep is it true that curfew here is at 7? Yes. The main gate is locked at 7, and all entrances to the mansion are to be locked at 8. It is also true that one must try not to go walking around in the mansion after 10. Not even walking around the mansion? Well, I've got no complaint with that. But isn't it kind of harsh? Akiha and I aren't children, so I don't think you should have to go that far. Indeed. It is a rule, however, so please abide by it. You are aware of the recent disturbances at night, are you not, Shiki-sama? Yeah, that vampire thing Arihiko was talking about. Well, as long as something like that is happening, I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. What else? Oh, do you mind if I ask an off-topic question? Yes, what is it? I'd like to know what kind of work you and Kohaku do around here. I'm here to serve Shiki-sama's needs, and my sister Kohaku to serve Lady Akiha-sama. In our spare time, we do the maintenance chores around the mansion. Is there anything more you would like to know? To serve. So, that's what it is after all. My shoulders suddenly feel heavier. It seemed completely natural for Akiha when she said that, but I'm nothing more than a normal high school student. I've no interest in having a girl around my age serving me. At least not for now. By serving me, you mean you're a personal servant? Yes. Please do not hesitate to ask anything of me. Well, I get it. Going by how Akiha was talking about you, it doesn't seem like I can dismiss you, so I'll just obediently let you serve me. Is there anything in particular you would like? Nothing in particular, but could you stop calling me Shiki-sama? To be honest, I get chills down my back when I hear it. But Shiki-sama, you are my master. That's what I'm saying I hate. I've been living a normal life up until yesterday. I have no desire to start living a life where a girl my age addresses me with Sama. I see. Hisui's response was less than enthusiastic. Just call me Shiki, and in exchange I'll call you Hisui. Let's do away with the formalities and be more casual with each other. Still expressionless, Hisui lowers her eyebrows as if she's being troubled. But you're my employer. It's not like I'm hiring you. You're the one doing the things I can't, so you're the great one. I see. Hisui gives another unenthusiastic reply, rather. It looks like I won't be able to talk to her in just one day. It seems like I won't be able to talk her into it in just one day. Anyhow, that's how it is. Don't be so formal towards me. I'll be grateful if you'd tell that to your sister Kohaku-san as well. Very well. As you say, Shiki-sama. Expressionless, Hisui bows her head. She completely failed to understand. I will be leaving now. Please rest for tonight. Bowing, Hisui puts her head on the doorknob. Her hand on the doorknob, sorry. Oh, I forgot to ask something. Hold on for a second. Running toward the door, I put my hand on Hisui's shoulder before she leaves. In an instant, Hisui's arm pushes away my arm with incredible momentum. With a whack, she slaps my hand and leaps back. It's so sudden. It's the only thing I could say. Hisui is expressionless, but she glares at me fiercely. Did I do something wrong? I'm very sorry. She sounds very nervous. I'm not used to being touched. Please forgive me. Hisui's shoulders are faintly trembling. I feel like I just did something really terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize without thinking. I don't understand why myself. I just feel sorry for Hisui, and I lower my head. Hisui says nothing. I get the feeling her stare is calm again. You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I'm the one to blame. No, well, maybe I scratch my head. Hisui stares at me, pausing only to blink for a second. What was it you wanted to ask me, Shika-sama? That's right. I stopped her because I wanted to ask her something. Oh, I wanted to ask about Akiha. Doesn't she go to a boarding school? That was only during middle school, Shiki-sama. From this year onwards, Akiha has special permission to attend school Akiha has special permission to attend school far from home. You mean she goes to school? You mean she goes to school from here? Yes, but it is uncommon for her to come home before dusk like today. Akiha-sama has practice up until dinner. She's always... Oh, sorry, I'm starting to break down here. Akiha-sama has practice up until dinner, so she is always home before 7. Practice? Practice what? Today's Thursday, so she would have had violin practice. Usually, she's able to return before dinner on weekdays, so if you have anything to say to Akiha-sama, please let Ne-san know after dinner. Hisui bows to say goodbye and leaves the room. Violin practice? What on earth is that? She's not some upper-class lady or anything, so why would she have to do something as bothersome as... Oh, wait. She is an upper-class lady. Yes. Come to think of it, my sister, Tono Akiha, is a natural-born upper-class lady. In my memories, she was always the obedient, ever-uneasy sister who'd always follow me around. Akiha was always quiet, never even giving the courage to express her own desires. She was a frail girl who always lived in fear of a scolding from our father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. Did my camera die? Hate when it does that. Thank you for letting me know. Also, yeah, I probably should take a bigger sip. And I have a water with me also, so. I feel who would always live in fear of scolding from her father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. After 8 years, I've become the me I am now. Akiha has become the Akiha of right now, too. 8 years is a long time. It's half of our lives up until now. I was absent from this mansion during the vital period where a child becomes an adult. I'm sorry, Akiha. I think things would have been better if I had been with her during those 8 years. I unconsciously mumble an apology. Left by myself, I lie on the bed. This house from 8 years ago. My blood relative from 8 years ago. It feels a little like they belong to someone else. I wonder what's going to happen to me now. Grumbling to no one in particular, I fall asleep. Awoo! I hear the wave-like sound of someone's voice. Something's voice. Awoo! Something is howling. It's too sharp and high-pitched to be a stray dog. Awoo! It echoes in my eardrums. Is it howling at the moon? Awoo! This doesn't feel right. The beastly howling is beginning to give me a headache. Awoo! It doesn't stop. Awoo! 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 Just shut up already. I wake up. I can hear the sound of a dog barking outside the window. The clock indicates it's just past 11. This is more than just a neighborhood nuisance. Damn, I can't sleep like this. The dog's howling comes from somewhere near the mansion's fence. It doesn't seem like I can go back to sleep at this rate. Ah! Wrong button. There we go. Even Akiha and the others wouldn't be able to sleep with a racket like this. Since I'm the only man in the house, I guess I've got no choice but to go investigate. I think it's coming from the right side of the mansion. I open the curtains to check what's happening outside. And outside my room is a large tree. One of the branches is perched a blue crow. Oh shit! In the dark night, I can see nothing but black. And yet it is quite clear to me that the crow is blue. I've never seen or heard of a blue crow before. It glares at me. It feels like the eyes of the crow It feels like the eyes of the crow are staring at me, like soulless, mechanical lenses. Krah! After a yawn-like cry, it noiselessly flies off. What was that? I can feel a faint chill on my back. The howling of the dogs grow louder. A-woo! A-woo! Oh-woo! It's really starting to get on my nerves. Not only is it noisy, but hearing it causes my heart to start pounding. I have an almost instinctual distaste for it. Shut up! I change out of my pajamas and into my uniform, and I leave the room. Ah-woo! The howling echoes through the night. That sound is definitely coming from the right-hand side of the mansion. For some reason, my throat feels dry. The high walls stretch their way around the mansion. Clearing my throat, I head towards where the dogs must be gathered. I arrive where the howling originates. Huh? A woo! The howling doesn't stop. But there are no signs of any dogs. All there is a person. Under the light from the streetlight that carves apart the darkness stands a man in a dark coat. The howling is coming from right beside him. But there are no dogs to be seen anywhere. The man in the coat is pretty tall. He has a strongly built body, and his back is facing me. My throat is so dry. A-woo! The voice of the dog resounds in my ears. The night air coils itself around my skin. For no apparent reason, I have difficulty breathing and moving, as if I'm at the bottom of the sea. Quah! A cry overhead. With a loud flapping of its wings, the blue crow lands on the man's shoulder. Then, suddenly, the crow vanishes. Can it be an illusion? It looked like the crow disappeared into his black coat. The man in the black coat turns around. Jesus fuck! Under the white streetlight, he's just like a shadow. A black lump. In the middle of that lump, only the weapon-like eyes shine out, burning with a fiery intelligence. I can't breathe. But unfortunately, those eyes seem like they're not looking at me. It's not here, after all. The man in the black coat leaves. When I can no longer see him, I'm finally able to breathe properly again. I manage to take a few breaths. I realize the dogs howling have ceased. I return to my room. There's no sign of Akiha or the others being awake. I guess I'm the only one who couldn't stand those dogs howling. What's happening? My head still hurts. Why am I trembling? Looking down, my fingers are trembling. My entire body is shaking, and my back feels very cold. It's almost like, yes, like someone ripped out my spine and replaced it with ice. I feel dizzy. Is it just the usual anemia? I get the feeling of falling towards the floor. On the way, I see something unpleasant. What? Even though I'm wearing my glasses, I can still see the lines. I hadn't seen them at all for a long time, so my reaction is magnified. I feel sick. With the dizziness from my anemia, I feel like I'm about to throw up the contents of my stomach. What's going on? I don't understand. Only as long as my eyes are open, scribbles fly everywhere across my vision. It's a bad dream. Somehow, I managed to collapse onto the bed. Yes, I should sleep. That's the easiest way to deny what I'm seeing. My body doesn't move as I want it to. All I should do is lie here and fall fast asleep like a corpse. Sensei told me. My eyes could see the points where things could easily be broken. And if that thing were to be a person, then what I would see would be their vital spots. Lines which, if cut, could break something apart without any effort. With those lines, even things as hard as steel could easily be cut. In other words, everything in existence has its destiny of breaking internalized within it. This is something inescapable for anything with physical form, Shiki. Oh, this is her talking, I guess. Him remembering her talking. That's what Sensei had said. I was still a child back then. I remember finally understanding what she meant and getting scared. In other words, the world is full of cracks, and it could collapse at any instant. If there are scribbles all over the ground, then there's a possibility that the earth would start breaking apart if I walk over it. When I realized what she meant, I thanked Sensei from the bottom of my heart for the glasses she gave me. I couldn't have gone on living if I had continued to see the lines all the time. The points where things could easily be broken. There isn't a single advantage to being able to seeing them. Good morning. I hear an unfamiliar voice. It is morning. It's time for you to awaken, Shiki-sama. Stop calling me Shiki-sama already. I told you yesterday it sends chills down my back. I wake up. Hisui stands far from the bed like a statue. Where am I? Good morning, Shiki-sama. The girl in a maid uniform bows. Yeah. I came home, right. I push myself up, looking around the room. In that instant, I feel a sharp pain in my temples. Are you looking for your glasses? Hisui gently hands me my glasses. I let out a breath. Last night, before I went to sleep, I had the feeling I was seeing the lines without the glasses on, even with the glasses on. But it seems like it was just my imagination. Maybe it's because I slept in an unfamiliar room. But my mind is hazy. Shiki-sama. Hisui calls out to me. Shaking my head, I shake away from my sleepiness. Good morning, Hisui. Thanks for coming to wake me. There's no need to thank me. It's my duty to come and wake you, Shiki-sama. Hisui gives me a plain and completely expressionless response. Even in an unfavorable light, I think Hisui's features are beautiful. I feel like he says that about fucking everybody though, right? Like, goddamn, bro. Chill. It should be wonderful for such a girl to wake me every morning. But as Hisui never smiles, I don't feel that happy about it. What a shame. If Hisui only had half of Kohaku's brightness, she'd be really cute. Do you need something? Realizing I'm looking at her, Hisui stares straight back at me. No, nothing at all. Waking up with you there makes me feel like I'm really in the Toho mansion. Now then, getting off the bed, I stretch out both arms. Suddenly I realize I'm wearing pajamas. I'm sure that yesterday Huh? I thought I slept in my uniform last night. Yes. Since it is bad for your health to do so, Ne-san changed her clothes and put you to bed afterwards. Hisui explains it as if it's something completely natural. I see. She changed my clothes. It's true that I could have caught a cold if I just slept like that. Just kind of attentive service you'd expect from a maid. Hey, wait a minute! What? Quickly, I check my pants and my underwear. My pants are brand new pajama pants. Even my underwear is new. What? I want to say, what the hell did you do? But somehow the words are stuck in my throat. I've got to calm down and think things over for now. Let's see. First of all, half the blame belongs to me. And the one who changed me wasn't Hisui, it was her sister, Kohaku. It would be wrong to complain to Hisui. Hisui, yes, what is it? You don't have to do anything uncalled for like this from now on. You have to, please, if you have to, please wake me up. I can change myself, so I'd like to do so. My face is deep red as I said all this. Hisui obediently nods in affirmation. Your uniform is folded and awaits you over there. Please come to the sitting room after you've changed. Damn it. How careless could I be? It was careless of me to begin with. When I fell asleep on the bed like that. But to not have woken up while I was being changed is over the top. Usually, I would have sensed it. But maybe I was just really tired. Complaining to myself isn't going to change anything. I can't just keep standing here talking to myself like an idiot. I'd better hurry up and change, then go have breakfast. My school uniform is neatly folded, and my shirt is even ironed. Passing my wrists through the sleeves feels good. It's that fresh, brand new feeling. No. There's nothing wrong with being naked, is there? Yep. There was nothing wrong with it. But I couldn't help but being embarrassed at the fact that I was being changed by the warmly smiling Kohaku-san. To top things off, the face in the mirror keeps smiling from the time, despite being bright red. Are you really okay, Tono Shiki? I thought you were supposed to be uneasy about staying here, you amateur. Akiha and Kohaku-san are relaxing in the sitting room. Akiha is wearing the uniform of the Asagami Ladies Academy, a famous school for young girls. They're drinking tea together gracefully, as if breakfast ended a long time ago. I greet Akiha, Kohaku, or both of them. Both of them. Good morning, you two. Good morning, Shiki-san. Wearing a white apron that suits her, Kohaku replies with a smile that could not possibly be any larger. On the other hand, Akiha just casts a glance at me. Good morning. You certainly took your time this morning, Nissan. She certainly knows how to put a clamper on things. Took my time? It's barely past 7. It only takes 30 minutes to get to school from here, so I'm actually up early. So you're saying you're going to finish breakfast in just 10 minutes? You're not some starving dog, so if you're going to eat breakfast, I'd like you to take your time. Akiha's words really do have thorns. I'm not a dog, Akiha. Then I remember. Speaking of dogs, there's what happened last night. Hey, about what happened last night. Does that happen every night? What? Akiha tilts her head slightly in response to my question. It seems the point of my question has completely failed to reach her. I'm talking about what happened last night. That noisy woof 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 racket. Even you wouldn't have been able to sleep through what was going on, right? Nissan? What are you talking about? What? I'm talking about last night, of course. Around 11 o'clock. Some stray dogs were barking their heads off. Akiha and Kohaku-san exchange looks, and then together they both look back at me. It's like they think I'm some sort of nutcase. I can't just let this slip by. Fine. I'm not asking you anymore, Akiha. Kohaku, it was really noisy last night, wasn't it? Was it really? I did think the wind was quite strong, but the only unusual thing I found while looking around late at night was you sleeping in your uniform at the top of your bed. Yes. I'll be more careful from now on. What? What happened, Kohaku? Oh, nothing in particular. Shiki-san just has bad sleeping posture, that's all. Kohaku-san dodges Akiha's question with a smile. Come to think of it, Kohaku-san is calling me Shiki-san now. It seems like Hisui passed on my message from last night. Are you sure neither of you noticed? Those dogs were barking for about 30 minutes straight last night. Woof, woof, woof. That isn't noisy, I don't know what is. It really was a woof woof panic, wasn't it? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Somehow I get the feeling Kohaku-san has missed the point. Well, that's basically how it was. I don't remember anything like that. You don't either, do you, Kohaku? No, I don't. Sorry, Shiki-san. There wasn't anything particularly like that last night that I can remember. Then it's decided. The only possibility left I can think of is that Nissan had a dream about it. Well, now that she mentions it, maybe it was a dream, but... You must have had a nightmare because you aren't used to the mansion yet, Nissan. Whoa, what was that? He's now hosting my stream. Oh, thank you, Dognote. I appreciate that. Oh, I know that. If that stray dog barks again tonight, perhaps we shall start keeping an extra vicious... Wait, hold on. What's the name? Because you... Okay. Oh, I know what. If that stray dog barks again tonight, perhaps we shall start keeping an extra vicious guard dog here. A malicious giggle comes from Akiha. I'm now out of time, so please excuse me, Nissan. Please do take care not to get attacked by any dogs on your way to school. Akiha leaves the sitting room. Kohaku-san leaves to escort her to the doorway. Now seems like a good time to come to a conclusion. Given what's happened from last night up until now, it's a no-brainer to work out for some reason, Akiha really, really hates me. I leave for the lobby after I eat breakfast. After I eat the breakfast Kohaku-san made for me. Hisui is in the lobby waiting with my bag. Will there be enough time, Shiki-sama? Yeah, it's not even 20 minutes to school from here if I run. It's 7:30... excuse me. It's 7:30 now, so I can make it even if I take the long way. Satisfied with my explanation, Hisui nods. Very well. I will escort you out. Yeah, thanks. It's a terribly embarrassing thing to have a personal servant. Ah! Shiki-san! Please wait! With pattering footsteps, Kohaku runs down the second floor. Hisui steps back and falls silent as Kohaku-san appears. Huh? Weren't you with Akiha? Lady Akiha goes to school by car. Since I had something to give you this morning, I stayed behind. Something to give me? Yes. This came from the Arima family yesterday. Kohaku-san smiles. But I have all my luggage already. The things I used while I was with the Arima's house belonged to them, so all I've got are my own clothes. Really? But this was sent here nonetheless. Kohaku-san hands me a thin wooden box, perhaps 20 centimeters long. It's not really heavy at all. Kohaku-san, I've never seen this before. Well, apparently it was left to you by your departed father. It was to be given to you in the will. By my old man? I can't feel anything about that. What's the old man who expelled me from this mansion 8 years ago doing leaving me things? Oh well. Please take it to my room for me. Oh no. Kohaku-san is staring intently at the wooden box. Seems almost like a child who wants a toy. Stare. No, she is a child. I get it. You want to know what's inside, right? Oh, not at all. I merely wondered for a moment. Like I said, you do wonder what's inside. All right, let's open it. 1, 2, 3. With a dry sound, the wooden box opens. Inside, there's a 10-centimeter bar of thin iron. It's an iron bar? Undecorated and worn. It has finger marks all over it. The old man must have really hated me to leave me a piece of junk like this. No, Shiki-san. It's a fruit knife. Kohaku-san takes the iron bar out of the wooden box. See? Isn't it one of those folding knives? 1, 2, 3. With a pachink, the 10-centimeter blade pops out from the bar. I see. It certainly is a knife. It's old, but it seems pretty solid. The year and the era it was made, it was written on the back. Kohaku replaces the blade and hands over the knife. Certainly, there's a number written on the grip. The character 7, and under it, the character Knight. Ne-san, there's no era by that time. It just says Nanatsu Yoru. Surprised, I turned around. Hisui, who'd been silent up until now, was looking at the knife over my shoulder. You surprised me, Hisui. You should have said something. You don't have to look over my shoulder like that, you know. If you want to see it, I'll just show it to you. Hisui's cheeks suddenly become a little redder. Please excuse me. That knife is so beautiful that I couldn't help myself. Beautiful? Do you really think it's beautiful? It's kind of beat up to me. Not at all. The tempering of the blade is masterful. I think it's a knife with its own proper history. Really? Looks to me like a piece of junk. But since Hisui seems so convinced, I begin to feel the same thing. In its own way. I guess it's not such a bad inheritance. 7 nights. Maybe that's the name of this fruit knife. Maybe, though. I can't imagine him naming a knife like this. Whatever the case may be, it's obvious that it's an antique. Well, in any case, I believe in taking what's given to me. I replaced the blade and put the knife in my trouser pocket. Shiki-sama, have you enough time? I have to get going. Well, Kohaku-san, thanks for the delivery. You're welcome. Kohaku-san smiles and waves. Leaving the doorway, I pass through the garden. I pass out the mansion gates. I sense a commotion. What's going on? Sounds like something's happening right outside the mansion. I heard that someone found bloodstains in the road past the... on the road east of the mansion. Bloodstains? You mean leftover blood? Yes. There was blood on the mansion fence, too. The police came to inquire about what happened last night while you were sleeping, Shiki-sama. Does that mean someone died? No. All that's been found are the bloodstains. The east side of the mansion. That's around where the man in the black coat was last night. Bloodstains. Traces of blood. Bloodstains. Traces of red. Come to think of it, I get the feeling I saw something red. Shiki-sama? No, it's nothing. Shaking my head, I shake off the bad images. Well, I'll be going now. Thanks for seeing me off, Hisui. Goodbye. Please take care on the way. Hisui bows deeply. I'm not sure what to take care about, but she's probably just worried about my health. Yeah, thanks. You take care too, Hisui. It's only right to repay good intentions with good intentions. With an energetic wave of the hand at Hisui, I leave the gates of the mansion behind. I walk along the unfamiliar streets. Up until now, I've been going to school from the Arima house, so it's the first time I've taken this route to school. It's only the path I've taken. It's only the path I'm taking that's different, but I feel like I'm going to a new school. There doesn't seem to be a lot of students from my school around. Apparently there are not many who live around here. 7:30 in the morning. I can't see anyone running along the streets in a school uniform except for me. The business district is in a rush of activity. As usual, the scene is one of suited firm employees gearing themselves for today's battle. No, it isn't quite the same as usual. For the last few days, the atmosphere has been a little heavier this town. It's probably due to the serial killings. Probably. There are less people in the streets in the evenings now, too. You better cut down on the hanging out at night, Arihiko. Face of my bad friend drifts into my mind. He'd be the sort to carry on hanging out at night regardless of the atmosphere in town. Well, it's not like he's going to listen to a word I say anyway. I start to see some people in school with uniforms intermingled with the crowd. In school uniforms, sorry. There are only about 10 minutes until the school gates close. I dash along the asphalt street so I won't be late. I arrive. It seems like it took 20 minutes rather than 30 from the mansion. I need to leave around 7 if I want to go slowly, since I ran several times on the way. The classroom, just minutes before homeroom, is full of commotion. Scattered all over the classroom are my classmates, intent on talking until the teacher arrives. It's like a festival in here, even though there are only a few minutes left. I ease my way through my seat next to the window. You know, where the protagonist sits. Then, yo! You're late, Tono! In stark contrast to the otherwise pleasant classroom, there's someone waiting with a big grin on his face. And in addition, good morning, Tono-kun. He's accompanied by someone very unexpected. Senpai, what are you doing in our classroom? Dumbfounded, I point to Ciel-senpai like I'm looking at a ghost. Huh? Is it so unusual? I was just wondering if you were in class, so I decided to come over to see you, Tono-kun. Unusual? The seniors never come to the junior classrooms. There's all sorts of reasons, but the biggest one is that they're just too far apart. Oh, I see. Senpai nods with a serious face. You don't have to worry about that. Despite my appearance, I'm a fast runner. It takes me less than a minute to get to my class downstairs from here. Senpai emphasizes her point. But I thought there was no running in the halls. I guess she's just not the kind of person who cares what other people think. Quit whining, Tono. Or, I guess it's Tono, right? Tono. What's wrong with it anyway? Senpai's here because she wants to be. Arihiko, being Arihiko, plonks himself down on my desk and starts up a merry conversation with Senpai. I don't mind, but you ought to get back to your class 2 minutes before homeroom starts, Senpai. I feel tired for some reason. Sighing, I sit down. Inui-kun, it seems Tono's feeling down. Tono's feeling down. I've been calling him Tono this entire time. God. Oh, man. Yeah, he's probably feeling irritable because he's not used to his life after moving. Tono doesn't mind most things, but he's got a bad habit of throwing a fit when faced with things he doesn't understand. Really? Tono-kun doesn't look like the type to get angry. Nope, that's not true. Tono, you see, is usually pretty mature, but when he encounters something he doesn't understand, kaboom! Kaboom, is it? Yup. You'll change your opinion once you see him lose it. So you could Sorry. You'll change your opinion once you see him lose it, so you can't just trust him like that, Senpai. The two of them whisper to each other. Hey, listen. If you're going to talk privately, do you mind doing it in the hallway? I can hear every word you say when you do it on my desk. There's no real point to it. What? You could hear us? Arihiko gives an exaggerated expression of surprise. No one else could stay angry after being hit with an act like that. Senpai puts her hands on her mouth, and I can't tell how serious she is. If it's Senpai, she may have actually intended to talk privately. It's terrible, Tono. Tono, fuck. Listening to the lovey-dovey private conversation between Senpai and me. You've sure got some nasty hobbies. Arihiko points at me. You trying to pick a fight with me, Arihiko? Actually, please do. Right now, I'm more than willing. Arihiko shakes his head. Of course not. You're my dear friend, right? I'd exchange fists with even my parents, but I have a policy of not fighting with my friends. I'm the very model of chivalry. That's amazing. I guess chivalrous people could punch their parents in the world that's inside his head. I see. That's a pretty rotten policy. You pretended to be depressed, but deep down you're the same Tono as always. Damn, I had nothing to worry about after all. Arihiko hits me a couple times in the back. Arihiko, you worried about me just then? Don't ask me trivial stuff like that, you dumbass. It's only good if I do it it's only good if I do it without you noticing. Arihiko hits my back some more. We've been friends for a long time, but I still can't get a hold on this guy's personality. So how's your new house? Pretty heavy and stressful by the looks of it. Can't really say. Had a bad dream last night, and the people at my house gave me the cold shoulder. I see. Sounds rough. Arihiko nods with a difficult expression. And Senpai's silent, staring at us while we have our trivial conversation. Senpai? Tono-kun, you really do get along well with Inui-kun. Are you serious, Senpai? You must need thicker glasses if that's what you think after seeing what just happened. Not at all, Tono-kun. You really look relaxed when you're with Inui-kun. You're really open and trust him a lot. Senpai smiles happily for some reason. Arihiko and I exchange looks and tilt our heads. Oh, I'm so envious. I really admire how your friendship allows such understanding without you getting worried over each other. Senpai's impressed. Really? Arihiko and I exchanged looks and raise our eyebrows. That's right. It's just that you two don't realize it. But maybe it'll end if you... In that case, it'd be best if you two just remained as you are. Yes, truly a miraculous balance. Well, I guess you could say our relationship is a miraculous tightrope. Arihiko nods in agreement. Thank you, I really appreciate that. I took a lot of classes in college for acting, so thank you, I appreciate that. I kind of fell off because I had to get a job and stuff, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens down the line. Arihiko nods in agreement. I guess that's one point we perfectly agree on. Ah, it's almost time. I'll be I think that's Ciel. I'll be going now. Did you watch the news this morning, Tono-kun? No. The house I moved to doesn't have a television, so I can't watch the morning news. Is that so? Well, I'll just ask you straight out then. There was a big mansion on today's morning news. Is that where you live? This morning's news. Now that she mentions it, Hisui said the police had come to talk. Yeah, that must be my house. I heard the police came this morning to ask us questions. Is that so? You mustn't be out playing late at night, Tono-kun. Tono-kun. Tono. Oh, it's gonna be... Oh boy. Senpai leaves quietly. I watch her silently, and... Tono! What? I'm not listening to any more of your trivial garbage. It's not trivial. It's becoming a big problem. You've become so familiar with Senpai that she even comes here to see you. Arihiko stares at me gravely. Well, I don't know anything about it. I've only started talking to her recently. Maybe she just came here on a whim today. And come to think of it, aren't you pretty familiar with her too? No way, man. It's taken me 7 days to get her to remember my name. Oh? That's unusual. Wasn't it your policy not to deal with girls who can't pick up in a day because they're too much trouble? That's for normal girls, but Senpai is different. I've kept it a secret all this time, but actually You like senior girls who look good with glasses on, don't you? Akihiro's face turns red. You knew all along, my dear friend? Yeah, I knew. We're friends after all. We get along and we've got the same interests. I see. You can understand how good Senpai is too, can't you? Hey, wait! Yeah, like I said, we've got similar interests, right? That's why we're into the same type of woman. Arihiko nods in agreement and heads back towards his own seat. I guess it was a short friendship, Tono. Sorry. I guess it was a short friendship, Tono. Yeah, exactly right. I wave Arihiko off. The teacher comes in about the same time. The morning lessons are over. It's lunch break, and Arihiko has gone ahead of the cafeteria. Now, where should I have my lunch? Can I save, before? Nope. Gotta make a decision. That's interesting. Classroom or cafeteria? Arihiko went to the cafeteria. Ciel should likely meet me in the classroom. I ate in the classroom last time, so I see no reason not to do the same again. Then again, a change of scenery might be nice. But they explicitly said that Arihiko went to the cafeteria, so I feel like this is what they want me to pick. I'm gonna go for classroom. I decide to go buy some bread and eat it slowly in my classroom. He's gonna get fat with all that bread. I would know. There are still a few guys in that close group of girls. There are still a few guys in that close group of girls in here as well. Huh? I just noticed. Yumizuka Satsuki, usually the most eye-catching of all the girls, is nowhere to be seen. She must be absent. I must be pretty absent-minded to take until lunchtime to realize one of my own classmates isn't even here. Fifth period. Feeling sleepy at the classics lecture, I gaze my drifts outside the window, and a crow is perched on the classroom veranda. Not the blue crow from last night, just an ordinary black one. With its black eyes, the crow stares inside the classroom through the glass window. It's true that it's unusual for a bird to perch here, but it's not like it's some major event. Suddenly, it comes at me. My vision gradually goes white as my sense of balance goes crazy. My field of vision sways. It feels like something is building up on the back of my head, and my brain feels heavy. Crap! I know this feeling. It's the precursor of an amnesia. It's the precursor to an anemia attack. The blood that's been building up inside the blood vessels in my brain forms clots and slushes around inside my head, causing my vision to go black. If I had to describe it, I would say it feels like darkness is pushing from my brain outwards toward my eyes. This is bad. I usually don't collapse in the middle of class, but fumbling into a world of darkness, I blindly use my desk for support. Even that becomes useless. I can't put any strength to my fingers. All I can do now is fall towards the floor. Excuse me, Sensei. And something hits me roughly on the back. Tono's looking pretty bad, so I'd like to take him to the infirmary. Arihiko. At some point, Arihiko had come up to me. Are you really feeling bad, Tono? I can hear the teacher's voice from his lectern. No, I think I'll be fine. Man, he's totally out of it. Wouldn't it be better for him to leave early? Arihiko makes this outrageous proclamation loudly. I see. If you say so, Inui, then there's no mistake about it. I've already heard about Tono's health from the Kunifuji-sensei. Tono, if you're not well, you may go rest in the infirmary or leave early. Sheesh. I don't know what's with him. Seems the classics teacher has complete trust in what Arihiko says. Come on, you can go now. Your face is pale and all, but no one's gonna know what you're feeling. No one's gonna know you're feeling bad until you tell them, you know. Arihiko hits me in the back grumpily. I'll be leaving early then, Sensei. The classics teacher nods solemnly. He eats bread because he just eats money. Sorry about making you worry needlessly, Arihiko. Don't worry about it. We've been inseparable since middle school. I can tell where you're about to collapse from anemia. Arihiko heads back towards his own seat. Expressing my thanks with a look, I drag my laden body out of class. I leave school. It would have been better to go lie down in the infirmary, but at this hour, it'd be after school by the time I wake up. That being the case, I decide that I better go lie down back at the mansion, even if it means pushing myself. I think I'm feeling a little better. I breathe in the outside air and I feel a little rejuvenated. Sheesh. I'm surprised at my own body. 8 years ago, the price of recovering from that near-fatal injury was becoming prone to sudden anemia. When I first left the hospital, it would happen at least once a day. Collapsing from dizziness became a daily routine for me. After some time, probably because my body had grown, the spontaneous dizziness and anemia became rarer. But from time to time, things still triggered dizzy fits, and I still lose consciousness. Today I was lucky that Arihiko caught me. Usually I wind up passed out on the floor. Give me a second to take a swig of water. Oh boy. Taking a slow and deep breath, I draw fresh air into my lungs. I can feel the blood pulled around the center of my head begin to swirl around again. So I head away from the school. I veer onto the main street. Once I get through here and leave the residential district, it's a direct path to the Tono mansion. Ugh. Crap. It looks like I haven't fully recovered just yet. Putting my hand to my forehead, I realize it's hotter than usual. I'm not going to do myself any good by pushing myself here until I collapse from along the side of the road. I guess there's no helping it. Disgusted with myself, I lean on the guardrail. I'll rest for a bit until I manage to calm down. I don't have much to do, so I stare idly around the street. It's just past noon on a weekday, but the street is filled with passers-by. Crowds of walking people. Nameless people without personalities that's kind of rude, walk straight ahead, without even casting a glance at the people walking beside them. Even though there's so many people here together in this crowd, in this same space, they see only one thing. Everyone is their own main character. So they only live the day from that perspective. And so, without really interacting with anyone else, they each end the day by themselves. In a way, you could say it's a very lonely thing. I begin to think melancholy thoughts. Perhaps as a result of my fever. Guess I'll go home now. I feel calmer, and all I'm doing here is wasting time with pointless thoughts. Getting up from the guardrail, I resume heading home to the mansion so I can rest. That is, until I see her. Uh-oh! Casually. All I did was cast my gaze into the crowd, but my vision freezes. Thump. Golden hair and red eyes. Her clothes are white, as if they're the symbol of herself. Thump. My pulse races. My veins and arteries spring into action. My nerves split, one after the other. My spinal cord goes berserk, as if it's about to leap out of my back. Thump. The girl walking in the crowd is just beautiful. The distant dizziness comes back to me. My consciousness swims, falling. Thump. I can't breathe. My fingertips tremble. The blood isn't reaching them. My whole body feels cold, like I'm freezing to death. My heart beats in a rush, urging me to hurry up. I can't stand it any longer. And unintelligible words escape my mouth. I can't think. My brain tells me only one word. Just one word repeating in my brain. Her. That girl. I'm going to... I feel sick. I can't breathe. It hurts to breathe. For some reason, I can't remember how to breathe properly. My throat is burning. My eyes are about to burst. My palms are soaked. I feel so cold, but I'm drenched in sweat. I have to follow her. I have to follow that girl. Chase her. Chase after her and talk to her. My frozen feet begin to move. My breathing is ragged, like that of a beast. I chase after the girl in white. The girl walks slowly. She doesn't realize I'm following her. If I run after her now, I can talk to her. Talk to her, and ask her name. Ask her name? Who am I kidding? I know very well that's not what I want to do. I know, but I don't know. It looks like I want to do something else. But I can't precisely put what I want to do in words. The inside of my head is misted over like a rain cloud. My throat is hot. I can't breathe. But so what? It's only natural, right? I've just seen that great woman. It would be impolite not to get excited, wouldn't it? Stop her and ask her name? Give me a break. I'm not a kid after all. I don't fully understand it. But there's only one thing I must do. I walk with my hands in my pockets. My fingers feel steel. How fortunate. The tools are all here. She walks. I leave plenty of room between us, so she won't notice. So the other people around us won't suspect. She and I are complete strangers. That's why I have to do my best to make following her look natural. She walks into an apartment building. I don't go in yet, but instead watch from the outside. She takes the elevator up. The elevator stops at the 6th floor. I check the common mailbox on the 1st floor. There are 5 mailboxes for the 6th floor. I touch one of them and feel a sharp sensation. I smell it. There's no mistake. Her room is the 3rd one on the 6th floor. I enter the elevator and press 6. I'm excited. I grip the knife in my pocket tightly while in the small elevator. She's very close by. Just a little more, and I can... her. Just thinking about it makes me feel ecstatic. My whole body feels like a sexual organ before climax. Uh-oh! Oh, shit! I get off the elevator. The 6th floor corridor is empty. This is good. Quickly. Quickly! I want to do it. I arrive in front of room 3. I'm about to press the doorbell when I stop. These glasses are in my way. I can't do what I've come to do with them on. It's a promise, Shiki. You should never cut those lines thoughtlessly. Long ago, a woman once told me such a thing, but right now neither her name nor her face comes to mind. Slowly, I remove my glasses. I can see the black lines, and not just them. Something happened to my eyes? Apart from those abominable lines, I can see points like black holes. Countless numbers of them. I don't know myself. What I'm trying to do. Why I'm trying to do this. What does Tono Shiki want to do with that girl? I don't know. Still, not knowing, I push the doorbell. Yes? I hear the voice behind the door, and the door opens a crack. In that instant, I slip through it. The girl says. No, she tries to say. She'll never get to finish what she tried to say. Because I cut her apart before she could. In that instant, I slip through the door. Not taking even a second, I draw the knife across the lines running through the girl's body. Stabbing. Slashing. Piercing. Driving. Splitting into pieces. Completely and utterly, I kill her. The black lines that divide her into 17 pieces. Through the neck, back of the head, from the right eye to the lips, upper right arm, lower right arm, right ring finger, left elbow, left thumb, left middle finger, left breast. From the right rib to the heart, from the stomach to the abdomen in 2 places, left groin, left thigh, left leg, left toe, all of them. As I pass her by, not even taking a second, truly, in an instant, entirely, I dismantle her into 17 pieces of meat. I can hear a credibly dumb-sounding voice. It doesn't feel like the voice is coming from my own throat. Dizziness. The minced pieces of the girl lie before my eyes. Red blood all over the wooden floor, like an overturned bucket of water. There's the choking scent of blood. The cuts are very clean, so her insides don't spill out. Only the color of red goes across the ground. Strange. There's nothing in the room. Nothing but the girl's scattered limbs and me, standing there dumbfounded. What? A sea of red blood is spreading all over the floor. In my hands, I grip my knife, the murder weapon. She's dead. Of course she is. She wouldn't be human if she was alive. Why? There's nothing to ask. I just did it with my own hands. With my own hands, cleanly and instantly. I cut apart this girl I don't even know. I killed her? Yes, there's no mistaking it. Or am I mistaken? There's no reason for me to think such a thing. That's why it's a mistake. Wait, no, there's no reason for me to do such a thing. That's why it's a mistake. It has to be a mistake. But I had no reason from the start. That's why it's a mistake. It has to be a mistake. The red blood flows all over the floor. Slowly, the dark red stain creeps around my feet. Surprised, I lift my shoe, but I'm too late. Like cold tar, her blood makes a thread connecting the pool on the floor and my foot. It's red blood. The color I hate, still flowing even now. All because I cut her apart. It wasn't me! Yes, it has to be a mistake. A mistake. A mistake. Probably a mistake. Definitely a mistake. This is just a bad dream, or this is, without a doubt, reality wrought by my own hands. I suppose it could be a dream, because he's anemic, and he passed out. Like, maybe he passed out and dreamt all this. But I feel like it'd be more interesting to assume that it's reality. I'm gonna go with 2. I'm gonna take responsibility. But just what is wrong about it? I killed her. Is that fact wrong? I didn't kill her. Is that fact wrong? No. All that's totally wrong. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. So what am I? Wrong. What is wrong? That's because I'm saying it's wrong. The fact that I didn't kill her is wrong. No. Wrong. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I don't even know her. She's just some stranger I saw walking in the street. See? Isn't that strange to you, Shiki? She's a complete stranger. Why would I have to kill her? There's no answer to my screams. Besides, the reason is clear. From the moment I saw her, I could only think of one thing. Yes, Tono Shiki, wanted to kill that girl. That's what I wanted to do back then. Just that. It was all so muddy inside my head. I didn't put it into words. Wrong. I feel like throwing up. The contents of my stomach are coming back up. The crimson soaks into my eyeballs. I dash out. I don't think even for a moment about how I might be seen or to hide the body. I just want to escape from here. Half crazed, I flee from the unfamiliar apartment. My gastric juices rise in my throat. I throw everything back up. My food, my gastric juices, everything while I cry. There's nothing left in my stomach, but my body continues to force me to throw up, as if trying to undo what had occurred and return me to a normal life. Pain. It hurts. like my insides are burning. The tears won't stop, and my body collapses to the floor like a pile of garbage. I keep crying. I killed someone. I killed her without reason, without mercy, like breaking apart a doll. Why? Why I felt like that? Why I killed her? Even now, I can't find a reason. Stomach acid drips over my lips, passing out of my mouth, dripping down my jaw. Mixed with the juices is something red. My throat is probably bleeding because my stomach keeps trying to throw up even though there's nothing left in there. It hurts. That's why this isn't a dream. I'm just lying to myself. It's all lies. Yes, actually, I understand everything. I lusted after her. Just looking at her aroused me. When I cut her apart, it was so thrilling I almost ejaculated. I don't know if that word allowed on Twitch. We'll find out. These eyes, too. If I know these lines could cut things apart like paper being shredded, I should have understood that even a person could easily be cut apart, just like I did to her. I had lived a normal life without thinking about something like that. If I really am the sort of dangerous person who could easily kill just about anything, then I should have put out these eyes or lived a life without seeing anyone. I'm sorry, Sensei. I'm so sorry. Not even such a simple promise I was able to keep. Yeah, that's what I figured, Dog Note. But I don't care about myself. I killed that person. That person's life up until now. The people around that person. The future that person dreamed of. Everything. Destroyed by a stranger. Even if I regret it, I can't be forgiven. Even if I apologize, I can't be forgiven. Have I gone insane? I don't know. There isn't even a trace of that impulse left. The thought of holding back never even crossed my mind. I didn't even consider trying to stop myself. Kill this girl. It seemed like the obvious thing to do, and I went through with it. And the answer is simple. I must be insane. I've probably been mad since 8 years ago, when I miraculously came back to life from a fatal accident. I can hear the sound of rain coming from somewhere. It's raining. I'm in a daze. My throat hurts when I try to breathe. Ouch. I can speak. Shiki-sama? Then I become aware of someone's presence near me. My room. Somehow, I'm in my own room. Have you awakened, Shiki-sama? Hisui. Yes. How is your body feeling? Hisui asks me an odd question. There's not a single thing wrong with my body, but... Why? Yes, why? Why am I asleep in a place like this? Even though I was about to say killed someone, but I stopped myself. My brain tells me I shouldn't say these words. What am I doing here, Hisui? Do you not remember, Shiki-sama? Hisui raises her brow slightly. Your school called to say you left early. However, you did not come back until even after dusk. So when my sister went to look for you, she found you resting in the park. Park? You mean the park near here? Yes. When she found you, you were resting on a park bench. Then you returned to the mansion in your own feet. On your own feet. You've got to be kidding. I don't remember any of that. I do not believe it's such an odd thing that your memory is unstable, Shiki-sama. It is difficult for me to say this, but when my sister brought you back, you were in a daze. I don't remember any of this. But I've no reason to doubt what Hisui says. Yeah, it's already 9 o'clock. I don't remember anything. Yes. When you returned to the mansion, you said you wanted to sleep. My sister suggested we call a doctor, but you said it happens all the time. I see. I guess I do collapse from anemia all the time, but this time it's different. Because I killed someone, huh? What did I look like, Hisui? Huh? My clothing, I mean. Was my uniform, with the blood? It was stained with blood. Your uniform was dirty, so I'm washing it. Washing? You mean those blood-stained clothes? There was certainly mud on it, but nothing like blood. Huh? But it was so... Even though I was on my knees in a sea of blood, and both my arms and legs had been completely soaked red. Have you had a nightmare of some sort, Shiki-sama? You look like you were having a bad dream until now, and you do not look fine. Hisui stares at my face. A dream. That... A dream. Was it a dream? That feeling. That smell of blood. That hideously beautiful white girl. No, maybe you're right. It's just a bad dream. I breathe out slowly. That's right. It's got to be a bad dream. There's no way I would break into my There's no way I would break my childhood promise to Sensei, needlessly and for no reason. But that... Is it being a dream too good to be true? Shiki-sama, are you still not feeling well? No, I'm all right now. Something like that must have been a dream. That's what I've got to believe. If I don't believe so, I can't just be sleeping here. Yes. If you are feeling better, I will go prepare dinner now. Dinner? No way. I can't eat when the color and smell of blood still lingers in my mind. No, it's fine. I'm just gonna go to sleep like this tonight. More importantly, Hisui. Yes, what is it, Shiki-sama? Well... Seems like I came back after dusk. But did Akiha say anything? Akiha-sama was not home at the time. She came back about 2 hours ago and was informed of your condition through my sister. Hisui seems to silently ask, what about it? Oh, it's nothing. I was just wondering if she was disgusted with me for causing her trouble on the second day since I've come back. It did seem like Akiha-sama was distressed, but I would not say she was disgusted. Saying this, Hisui takes a step away from me. Well, I will be leaving now. Please call for me if you need anything. Yeah, thanks. Oh, one more thing I forgot to ask. Yes? What is it, Shiki-sama? It's raining outside. When did it start? Before you came back, Shiki-sama. When my sister found you, you were drenched. I see. I can't even remember that. Seems like it was a pretty serious case of anemia. If that's the case, I shouldn't have pushed myself and should have rested at school. Good night. I'm really sorry about today. Please express my gratitude to Kohaku-san, too. I understand. Good night. A dream, huh? It's like I don't even know what I felt. But if I can't understand what happened or how I feel about it, how do I know it was a dream? I can hear the sound of rain outside. My mind still feels a little heavy. I glance down at my chest. The old wound from 8 years ago is still distinctly there, like a burnt scar. Ugh. On top of my desk lies the knife my father left me. It was a dream. Nothing more. I repeat this over and over again, trying to placate myself until I sleep. But when I was a child, I think someone once told me, don't tell lies that you can't even fool yourself with. Okay. What time is it? Oh, Jesus. It's 4:20. And it has been 4 hours. Not bad. For me, that's kind of crazy. I think the last time I did a 4-hour stream, I played Mega Man X 1 through 4 all in a row, and that stream was a fucking disaster. So, cool. I think I did pretty well. We got pretty far into it. Some shit happened. It was kind of crazy. I will definitely be finishing this, absolutely. Let me check my schedule real quick. Ooh, everything hurts somehow. That's weird. I guess I've been sitting for too long. Okay. No, I took a picture of it, that's right. Alright, so... I'm working Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday I'm going to hang out with friends after work. And then Wednesday, it's a late evening. I could stream Wednesday. But I don't like the idea of streaming and then stopping and then going to work. I guess I could do that. But I have off on Thursday, so we will resume this 12 p.m. EST, Thursday, the 14th of October. We will be continuing Tsukihime. Did my camera freeze? Like right at the end? That's funny. Okay. Yeah, so let's... No! I didn't mean it! When I come to its morning. I'm sure it is. Display image, recollection, progress to the next choice. Let's save. Okay. Okay, so... Thank you, I appreciate it. So, I'll give my closing thoughts on what I've played so far. It's an interesting read, especially right at the end. There seems to be some... Unfortunately, I'm a little bit spoiled to a lot of this stuff because I played Melty Blood, so, like, I know that there's, like, a Nanayashiki, there's, like, some type of separate personality. It seems like maybe that's what they were going for, like, that's what they were hinting to with the murder scene. It's tough. This was written in the year 2000, so I feel like it gets a pass. But DID is really not something that's super kosher to write fictional stuff about in a way that, like, especially in a way that makes them like seem dangerous or scary. But on the other hand, god damn it, if it isn't a fucking blast to acting when you do DID. For example, or when you're playing a character with DID. So, for example, the movie Split by M. Night Shyamalan was very controversial because the main villain of that movie has like 8 personalities, and like one of them is a serial killer or whatever and kidnaps a bunch of girls. It's not super cool to depict that particular mental illness as like dangerous or whatever, but at the same time, James McAvoy, the guy who plays Kevin Wendell Crumb, the guy with the split personality, is having an absolute blast and gives an incredible performance. So it's one of those things that, like, we probably shouldn't do it in fiction and we probably shouldn't do it in acting, but it's so much goddamn fun. It's so much fun to do DID. But yeah, one of the things that I was a little worried about with some of the things that I had learned just through osmosis and from fucking Twitter spoiling everything is that there are certain characters that have certain mental illnesses and certain like pasts and stuff. And I really hope that through the story it doesn't get like overly specific or has more supernatural explanations to stuff, because I don't particularly like when authors use mental illnesses for their characters, just because it no matter how complex a character is, they're never going to be as complex as an average human being. The reason we call a complex character complex is because they are more intricate, like a human being would be. Like a one-dimensional character is like very much unlike most people, because most people are a lot more multifaceted. And when you give a fictional character, even one that's very well written and like deep and complicated, a real world mental illness, what's the word I'm looking for? Diagnosis. And you make that part of the story, one of the things that can be done that's kind of lazy is just attribute symptoms of that mental illness to them early and then later explain, oh, they have schizophrenia, or oh, they have anxiety, or oh, they have sociopathy or whatever. And not only is it tropey, but like people are more than their like people with mental illnesses are more than their mental illnesses, and a character should also be more than their mental illnesses, because a character should be more than their tropes. If you're writing a well-written character, or if you're intending to write something that's character based. So that's one of my main concerns going into Tsukihime, especially a story that's as old as this, that it might be a little, because like I feel like most fiction writing recently is kind of acclimated to that understanding of mental health, so I usually don't have to worry about that in most things, but it'll probably be fine. Can I spoil a bit? Actually, I would prefer that you didn't. I kind of want to be... Unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff that was been spoiled for me through Twitter and through just playing Melty Blood and just being aware of the characters in Melty Blood. So I want to keep as many surprises as possible. So I appreciate the thought, though. But yeah, for the most part, I think it'll be fine. And it's the opening is pretty standard fare. It reminds me a lot of the opening to Fate Stay Night with Rin going to high school and all that stuff. Like it's just very there's probably a lot of visual novels that open like this, like introducing the best friend character, introducing the girl character, introducing the girl character, introducing the girl character, introducing the girl character. Yeah, introducing the sister, but there's a couple interesting twists. It takes place in the Nasu verse, so there's mage shit going on. Shouldn't worry too much, even when it's a game that's been out for 20 years, so nobody would judge you. Yeah, I'm not worried about people judging me. It's whatever. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna continue this. I look forward to continuing with this series. Uh, I will probably upload the. I definitely actually upload the VOD in some form to YouTube. I don't know if I'm gonna split it up or just blast it out as a chunk. We'll find out. All right, so I will see you all Thursday. Thank you very much.